Hello and welcome to Still Got Legs, a Doctor Who Rewatch podcast brought to you by Another Happy Studios. Alright, let's do this one last time. Hi there, folks. Now I hear that Lawrence has been out here running his damn mouth and dragging my good name through the mud. So I guess it's only fair that I respond in kind. So just remember, Lawrence, you brought this on yourself. Lawrence, I really fucking love you. You know it's always been just me and you. And your wife, yeah, maybe she was there too, but she don't love you like I do. No, she don't. My best friend, yeah, we've been through so much. From playing cowboys and making fun of Dutch. We all had her. I got a plan and I think our lips should touch. Did I say too much? Oh, damn. I guess it's out there now. We should kiss. Just like gridlock, we'll be wearing that bliss. I fucking love you, I ain't taking the piss. But just so we're clear, none of this is gay. I'm just playing, this is so fucking gay. I love you each and every single day. About to be a papa, but I gotta fucking say, you already my daddy, I don't want it any other way. Why you out here acting like a fool? Loving the reunion, the set in a school. You really think that coral TARDIS is cool? Oh boy, I've been an ass, just call me a mule. Oh damn. It seems I might have made a mistake and chose the wrong partner for my time. But on second thoughts, that's not what being a real man is. A real man stands by his brother through thick and thin. So if you love your cowpoke, if you love your partner, your brother in arms, your ride or die, let him know before it's too late. Your brother's there for you, so you gotta be there for your brother. You gotta tell him you love him, and that sometimes you wanna give him a little kiss, and that's okay. Sometimes cowboy can just kiss, and it's lovely, beautiful. We all have a good time. I love you, brother. Never forget that. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Still Got Legs, the only Doctor Who rewatch podcast in the world. There are no others that exist, at least none that are fucking stupid enough to waste time writing and putting together songs about each other out of pure spite. My name is Nathan, and as always, I'm joined by my wonderful companion as we go on this fantastic journey through all of time and space and rewatch all of Doctor Who. Hello, Lawrence.
Hello.
Hello.
You said out of spite, but that was like the nicest thing anyone's ever done.
That was a very late in the game change, okay? Because
oh no,
this week has been hell for me personally. Okay. I had no fucking idea what to write. Yeah. And then it was only like literally at the last fucking minute at like 4 or 5 in the morning this morning that I was like, what if instead of a diss track I made like a nice track instead? Yes. Instead. And then I just went with it.
That's like the surefire way to let it end here as well, because
exactly.
I can't come back to that. I'll just be an arsehole, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. And therein lies the genius. This is now put to bed. Okay.
Just fucking using the same fucking song.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing. I was really struggling with like finding like an actual beat I could use. At one point, I was going to use Redbone, okay? Just the Redbone instrumental.
Yeah.
At one point, I was going to use the Doji beat I used the other day. At one point, I was going to write a full-on fucking parody of Alexander Hamilton, okay?
Yeah.
And call it Lawrence fucking Heisey, okay? And just write about how you're a cunt, just change all the lyrics to how you're a cunt or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is nothing. This is shit, okay? And then, yeah, that was put together. Anyway, there we go.
Just so much of that. You would have to know Nathan privately to know so much of that is his, like, Arthur impression. Like, so many times you were just saying something and you just suddenly started being Arthur from Red Dead 2.
There's a whole layer to that. You can't really hear it. It kind of comes through every now and then, but there's a whole layer to that where I sung the lyrics, but, like, barely sung them, just like kind of doing my cowboy mumbling from like,
yeah,
I really fucking love you, just like that all the way through.
Was there 3 layers in that?
There was more than 3 layers. Like sometimes it was like 3, sometimes it was just 1, sometimes it was like it was like, I think the most it was 4 or 5 at one point. I don't know. But there was quite a few.
Because just a couple of times I was like, this is fucking musical chaos.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god! Now that that's it. By the way, the diss track era is over. We're never doing it again.
And Catherine very politely said, look, I love you both. I'm happy to come on the podcast and help out when you're away, but she's not fucking doing it. Like singing or writing and performing a song or anything. I'm like, no, that is absolutely fair enough. It will be over before then.
Yeah, so. it needed to be done. We've shaped up our act. We're back in line now. It's normal intros next week.
But a good normal intro.
A good normal one. This is what the diss tracks. Yes. It's all been built into this, right?
Yes.
And now we're both just going to go forth and do our own thing however we want to do it, but the benchmark is they have to be good.
Yes.
And that's that. Now there's no more intro wars anymore.
Well, we'll see.
The worst thing is, Pierce will know this, I have another one, just kind of locked and loaded, not recorded, right? But like I have the lyrics for another one. And just like I was literally halfway through that and I went, I guess I'm throwing that in the bin. It's gone.
Good. Yeah. That's the good part. That's the genius of what do you call an anti-diss track? A nice track?
A love track.
A love track? Yeah, because they can't respond. There's like, if they do, they would have to respond with another nice track. Yeah, you know?
And then just like then you could still either way you win. Because you said the nice thing, you were the bigger man. But then if I respond saying loads of things that are nice about you and you just ignore it, then I just look like a fucking cuck for you.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That's actually brilliant.
Yeah.
You've beat me at 4D chess somehow.
Yeah. Also, I the reason I use the same beat, by the way, is because I went onto YouTube. I literally typed in country beat. Yeah. Literally the first fucking video.
I fucking told you it would
literally be. The first fucking video that is there. And I was like, Jesus Christ, he did not look far at all, did he?
To my credit, I fucking told you. I said last week it was going to be there.
Yeah.
That's actually fantastic.
Anyway.
Nathan, I promise anyone that's new to the podcast, it's not always like this. Sometimes we just talk about Doctor Who straight away.
Sometimes we're squeezing the Doctor Who in between everything else.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we have a Patreon. Ooh. You're very welcome to check it out and subscribe if you wish. It is patreon.com/stillgotlegs. There'll be a link down below. But when we launched that Patreon a couple of weeks ago, we did so with the promise of 2 podcast episodes each and every single month, 2 bonus podcast episodes, okay, as a little bonus for signing up and supporting us on Patreon. We've already broken that promise after 2 weeks, but in a good way.
Yes,
in that we've added a 3rd bonus podcast to the roster.
Well, technically it's a 3rd bonus episode, a 2nd bonus podcast, because it's a whole different vibe switch, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on the same feed. Don't get it twisted or anything. Like just for logistics purposes.
Yeah.
But like it is a separate podcast in that it's not really anything to do with Doctor Who. Basically, What is it? It's
a segment from AHP, right? If you have never heard of that, and if you're fairly new here, Another Happy Pod is now the unfortunately put out to pasture podcast that we've stopped doing. At least for the time being, anyway. But it's a pop culture podcast where we spoke about movies, TV shows, whatever. And at the end of that show, every week, we had a little segment, about 20 minutes or so, where we would talk some recommendations, just anything we've watched, read, or listened to, etc., etc. So we're just doing that. It's called Still Got Rex, and we're very proud of that.
That's right. Another Happy Pod may be over, but we still got Rex.
Yeah, man.
I came up with that. That was very good from my part.
That's not true. That's not true.
That is true.
I came up with Still Got Rex.
No, sorry. Yes, you came up with Rex, okay, but the whole thing about Another Happy Pod may be finished, but we still got fucking... I think the one I said was Still Got Suggestions.
Which I liked.
Okay, so when you say that's not true, okay, 99.95% of it was true.
All right.
Okay, just the last fucking smidgen was there.
Right, you got a little tagline, right? But Still Got Suggestions. As much as I like it, it's not Still Got Rex. It's not the play on words to our other podcast.
I'm not suggesting that is, okay? And I even was the one who said, actually, suggestions is probably not the best way to go because we don't actually call it suggestions.
It's true.
We call it recommendations.
Right.
So you was fully on board with Still Got Suggestions.
I liked it. I did, yeah. The important thing is we're both very chuffed that it's happening now.
Shut up, you dickhead.
Nathan, what are we here to talk about today?
Fuck, let me get my notes up.
Never mind all this Patreon nonsense.
No, I'll do some Patreon nonsense up top. No, you fucking tell me all to do.
No, I was just filling time so you could open the schedule, Nathan. It was for your benefit.
I don't need to open the schedule. I got my notes. Anyway, this is we're talking about Doctor Who, season 8, episode 11, and also episode 115, maybe, that might be wrong, of Doctor Who and Still Got Legs. It is written by Stephen Moffat, directed by Rachel Talalay, another woman, and it is again, I've got In the Forest of the Night up here, but it is Dark Water. Okay,
yeah,
it's Dark Water. Yes.
Rachel Talalay, this is a big name.
Rachel Talalay, this is the name, Lawrence.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the arrival of the name, the director of directors when it comes to Doctor Who.
Yeah,
okay,
sure.
This is the Queen. Okay.
What about Graham Harper? Graham Harper was
nowhere near as much recognition and fanfare as Rachel Talalay. No one has as much love and recognition as Rachel Talalay does.
I know that the one thing I do know about Rachel Talalay was that apparently she came out publicly and was like, that weird shot where David Tennant's standing in a space void doing narration. I didn't do that. It's nothing to do with me.
She did say that. Yeah.
Good stuff. Isn't she very well known for? Doesn't she do a lot of Capaldi big hitters?
She does. Yeah. Yes, she does. Pretty much like all the finales for the Capaldi era going forward. She also does, like, she directed quite a lot of like Netflix Marvel stuff. Like,
oh, cool.
Like from the Defenders and fucking Daredevil and everything else. She directed quite a lot of that. She's quite a big name. She's been about. She's got quite a lot of stuff under her belt.
Damn. Yeah, I'd only ever heard the name connected to Doctor Who, but that's fucking cool. I'm glad. I'm glad to see the start of her because I know that she is a well-revered fucking name in this fandom.
100%. She is a very talented director. I think very good.
And not to
Absolutely
show my hand too early, but I think this episode is a good case study for that. I think this is may I general thoughts, if you don't mind.
I'll allow it.
Awesome. What a fucking good episode of Doctor Who this is. If I can be real for a moment. I think this is...
I'll allow you to be real for just a moment.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Right. There's a tragedy in this. There's a character study. There's
tragedy.
When your pants
when
fall
your mum's
down.
in bed with your Uncle Fred, it's tragedy.
Oh, you're going for the mums in bed version.
Yeah, what was yours?
I was going for the pants fall down and you look like a clown.
Another classic.
Yeah, okay. We all know them.
Everyone's got a go-to for that one.
They do, don't they?
Yeah.
Let us know right in, what's your tragedy?
Yeah, what's your tragedy? Let us know.
No, man, this is a terrifying, fucking harrowing to the core concept put out in this. Phenomenal villain returns. 2 of them, I might add.
2 of them, yes, 2 of them.
I would go as far as to say this is what I think potentially a near perfect fucking episode of Doctor Who.
Ooh, near perfect?
Well, no, that's not even to say. That's just me being not wanting to show my full hand, right? Because I can't think of a flaw. I just think I'm just allowing myself a little bit of wiggle room in case you hate it for me to roll back.
Okay. Well, Lawrence, cease your rolling.
Yeah.
Okay? There'll be no rolling here because I decree that we have a delicious hearty bowl of mashed potatoes to wash down this certified banger, or to accompany, I guess, this certified banger. Because what a juicy, delicious start to a finale, and it's only part one. Okay, there is, and like no part of this, if you'll forgive the pun, which wasn't a pun, it's just the same word. But no part of this suffers from part one syndrome, like a lot of two-parters from just a different era. That's all I'll say. Yeah. Okay.
I'm with you, man. I see it. I can see those complaints.
Yeah. It's a good story that like does it stand on its own? Maybe not, because it like does leave on a cliffhanger and stuff. It does like leave you going, oh, what happens next? I'm really intrigued to find out and stuff. Yeah. But it's still like a really, really good, really intriguing story that at no part you're like, well, this is all just boring setup, isn't it? Because it is setup, but it's not boring. That's the thing.
Yeah, this episode really fucking introduces some stuff, right? Also, like, it does the smart thing of being like, we're going to leave all the setup to, like, kind of the back half an hour, and the first 20 minutes is going to be like, what if these are the most interesting characters ever committed to TV screens? Like,
what if?
Oh, man, the juicy business going on. I can't lie, man. This might be, I said this a couple of weeks ago, but I might be officially on board as this is maybe the best Doctor and companion pairing.
Did you see the next time trailer for this episode last week?
I think I did. Yeah, I think so.
The next time trailer for this episode, the one that we're talking about today, is genius because the whole thing makes you believe Clara is secretly the villain. Secretly the villain of the whole operation, okay? That's the way it's framed. That's the story that's told through the next time trailer, and it blows your fucking mind. I'm like, first time I saw that next time trailer, I was like, what?
What's Clara doing?
Yeah, it was insane because it includes footage from both, because it's kind of a next time trailer for the finale as a whole. So it includes footage from both episodes, okay? Yeah. And there's a line which comes up next week where Clara says, I'm not Clara Oswald. Clara Oswald was never born. And you're like, what the fuck is this? What does this mean? And stuff. And it's very intriguing. But that's something we'll get into.
God damn, they're sneaky bastards, man.
They're sneaky, sneaky boys.
I thought I'd seen it, but apparently I haven't, because I do not remember seeing it. Then again, I knew this was the Michelle Gomez reveal. I knew that a certain thing happened. A certain fate befell Danny Pink. You don't
know anything.
Right? I knew some stuff. You know I knew some stuff.
No. You don't know anything. Anyway, Lawrence, it's a beautiful sunny day. The park is busy. We hear a phone ring, and a certain little cuckold will answer it. Okay?
You're chomping at the bit, aren't you, for a scene coming up very soon?
No, I'm not, actually.
Okay, all right.
I'm not wishing for this, all right?
All right, I see. I'm putting words in your mouth. I apologise. No, yeah, man, fucking, this is a good little scene. Danny's walking through the park. He's answering the phone to Clara. And Clara, obviously hot off the heels of being caught out in a fib last week, she's ready to confess. She's ready to confess all of her lies. She's got so many Post-it notes with all of her big fibs.
She does have many Post-it notes. I don't necessarily think she's here confessing stuff, really. She's not like... I think Clara may perhaps feel a little guilt over some lies that have been told and everything like this, and I feel like she maybe has, like, had a moment of doubt and has fully leaned into her relationship with Danny. But we'll see how that turns out. Yeah.
in approximately 1 minute, yeah. No, you're absolutely right. It does feel a bit, not tonal shifty, that's the wrong phrase, but like Clara has always a little bit kind of seemed 1 foot in, 1 foot out with Danny. Mm-hmm. And now she seems firmly both feet planted on the ground in Camp Danny, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
She is ready to commit. Yeah. So she's like, shut up, Danny, shut up, I need to talk to you. And he's like, well, I'll be there in a couple of minutes. And she's like, no, for some reason, I can't tell you this very important thing in the room. I'm not brave enough, so I need to do it over the phone.
I kind of like that. That's a flaw.
I kind of like that too. It's very human, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very like I can't look you in the eyes when I say this because I laugh, so shut up, you know? Yeah.
So, look, not to pull the curtain back too many times, but sometimes we've had some serious conversations, and when you see a FaceTime audio as opposed to a FaceTime video, that's what's about to occur.
Not necessarily.
Not always, but
not always.
100% of the time, if it's serious, it's typically like this.
Maybe
We're both shy boys when it comes to expressing emotion.
We don't like we don't like having serious conversations.
No, it's gross and yuck.
It's so gross. We're like, I don't want to do that.
Once a year, we'll be like, all good. All right,
all
cool.
Good. Check in. That's it.
Sounds sick. Nice. Let's do riffs.
That's very healthy.
Speaking of not
I
wanting,
just wrote you that song. I just told you I loved you through that song.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
it's beautiful. How dare you?
Oh, maybe I need to write you a love song back, Nathan. It goes on.
No, please don't. No, don't.
We'll never end. So yeah, speaking of not being good at communicating, Danny is not communicating to Clara. She's like, Danny, why aren't you talking? It'd be great if you could talk.
Let's before that, let's get through what she says, I think.
Okay. All right, sure, yeah.
Before the big thing, okay. You're chomping at the bit to do your segments. You want to do your segments more than your segues, sorry, more than the actual fucking content.
If you had indulged me a minute ago when I said she was both feet in Camp Danny, I was going to say Danny had both feet planted firmly in the fucking road.
Oh my God. Anyway, she tells him she loves him.
Yes.
Quite a big moment, and he's like, yeah, I know, I love you too. And she's like, no, not like that, you dickhead.
Not a wishy-washy love you.
Yeah, like a proper love you. Like, like not like it's automatic, not like it's how you end a phone call, the sign off, the pat on the back. I'll never say those words again. And she's right. Kind of.
Yeah, in a way. Yeah.
In a way. Yeah.
In a roundabout way. Yeah, I do like this. This is a kind of maybe the episode lays it on a little bit thick, but you don't mind because it's interesting character stuff, right? But like it is such a good tee up for some sadness to occur.
I don't think the episode lays it on a little thick at all. I think it's the appropriate amount of laying it on.
Okay, all right. Well, in that case, I agree, and I roll it back.
You're such a pushover.
No, I've rolled it back, Nathan. I never had that opinion. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, God. And yeah, she tells him she loves him, and then radio silence. Just nothing. You can just see and feel the awkwardness, and she's like, so that's a thing.
Yeah.
There's more, but that's kind of the headline.
Imagine if it was Danny. Danny's just stewing on that, like, let me take 5 fucking minutes to consider it. He's gone 10 non-verbal, Nathan. He's silent.
I like this though. I really like this. Not because Danny dies, because I think it's really interesting in how it's framed and just from Clara's point of view. Okay, it's so interesting how she just gets nothing and is so in the dark as to what the fuck has happened, and and then when the woman picks up the phone, she's like, what the fuck is going on here? The confusion and the way her face changes from confusion to shock and to dread as she's like, here's the woman saying like, I'm so sorry, she's dreading what comes next and stuff. It's so well done. I feel it's
well done. It's brilliantly performed when you consider this is Jenna Coleman and a phone.
Like,
yeah, there's not a lot to go off there, but also, and I see a criticism pop up, and maybe it's in a thought that I'll read out a little bit later for everyone, right? But this is you would typically hear a car crash of this magnitude enough to kill someone, but it's a TV show, and I don't mind because the choice to leave Clara in the dark hanging like this is so much more effective than if we heard a big sound effect and then Clara's like, "What was that, Danny? Are you okay?"
You can do, but it could also be like noise suppression filters, which will cut things off like once they pass a certain level, you know.
Yeah.
So
it's that horrific that everyone's just screaming endlessly.
Yeah. I was fine. I really don't give a shit about like that. That's completely fine to me.
Yeah, it doesn't faze me at all. Yeah. I just
if it serves the story, then who cares?
Exactly.
You know?
It's more interesting to see Clara confused, because also Clara's a character that kind of inherently craves some level of control. Like, she kind of wants to be let in on every level. So the fact that there's something she doesn't know and she's powerless to find it out is kind of fucking hard to watch from her. Clara's like a very intensely frustrated person in these scenarios, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, so this woman, she's like saying she's sorry, and Clara's like, "The fuck are you talking about? Just give the phone back to Danny, you know." And then she says, "You know, it must have just got thrown in the car. It came out of nowhere. I'm so sorry." And then we just basically see Clara running down the street at that point. Yeah, and Danny is dead.
Danny is hella dead, and not only is Danny dead, this is like the running down the street is kind of like, I wouldn't even call it a transition necessarily. It's just kind of this cool thing you assume is happening directly after, but in actual fact,
there's a transition, which is very cool. There is a transition.
What, does it like fade in? I might have missed a fade or something.
No. It's just a very clever transition. She like runs in the street, which by the way is just outside the Cardiff Museum. We'll come back to that later. Okay, but she runs down the street just next to the Cardiff Museum. Okay, and then like the camera like goes in on her face as she's there, and then we pull back and she's in an entirely different outfit, and it's like a few days later, and all the mess from the traffic and the police and everything are gone, and there's just like flowers where Danny was and stuff. So,
which is
it's a good transition.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember it with the clarity that you do, but like I know what you're saying. It's fucking the emotional beat of that is fucking hard as well. Yeah. Like, I don't know, man. Just the pictures. There's something about, because every now and again, right? I don't know if this is necessarily just a thing in the UK. I don't know how other cultures, if they kind of take on this practice, but like if there's a car crash or something. Typically there'll be like a lot of photos and flowers left at the scene of that car crash. Yeah. That's something you do come across, especially when we lived in central London. You'd be hard pressed to not see one probably at least once a week. Yeah.
And most times, to be honest, you see it quite a lot, really. Yeah. Which is quite bad.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, when it's not good, is it?
Yeah, not great, really. Yeah,
but like it's quite affecting, especially when it's a character that, like, I know we've had our disagreements about Danny, right? Yeah. But the fact that they're able to use his character, who clearly means a lot to Clara, to kind of punctuate this finale with such an emotional fucking weight to it is really useful, I think.
And it is a fucking gut punch, all right? Yeah, I don't like Danny, but I'm not wishing for this. Okay?
Yeah, no one wants to see him get run over.
And that's the thing. That's the thing why it's a gut punch that works, because he is dead. He has died, okay? It's not like he's, an alien picked him up and then he's dead. He died. It was killed by a car. He was killed in a car crash. He's dead, okay? And then we get like the voiceover of like the head teacher at the school saying like, "Oh, Donnie Pink is dead," and blah 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 blah, blah and all that stuff, okay? And it's very sad, and it is like an actual gut punch. And then, as well, further from that, you're thinking about like, so what does this mean about Orson Pink and everything we see? That's now a timeline which just doesn't exist now because Danny has died, presumably. So that's all like interesting and heartbreaking and confusing and stuff. And it is a gut punch. It absolutely is. It's
something that I think Doctor Who has not always been the best at handling, which is stakes and consequences. Like, so often Doctor Who writers and directors and just showrunners and stuff, they kind of want to have their cake and eat it too, where like emotional send-offs kind of aren't. Like, there's always some degree of a way out, you know. Rose isn't dead, she's in a parallel Earth and she gets to be happy over there if she wants to be. Martha leaves on her own terms. Donna, it's a tragedy, but she's alive. She's still breathing and she finds happiness elsewhere. Like, there's always that element of sad, but silver lining.
Yeah.
And I think, and I know Danny's not, I wouldn't call him a companion, but he's a side character that literally, like you say, it just flat out is dead. And that's it's just fucking open and shut, dead. Yeah, which is crazy for Doctor Who, I think.
Brutal. Man is dead. Anyway, Sting? Is that a Sting?
Well, the Doctor
No, it's not the Sting. Sorry, no, it's not the Sting. Yeah. No, I tell a lie.
Clara's chatting with her gran.
yeah, Clara's clearly very depressed.
Understandably. Yeah.
Understandably. All right, girl is going through it.
She's got that dead eye fucking vibe to her today, yeah.
Yeah. She's like just dressed in like just like a fucking week old cardigan, probably hasn't showered for a few days, bless her, we've all been there.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's clearly not doing well. She's talking to her gran's back from the Christmas episodes, and they're just like making a cup of tea or whatever. And this is a very interesting conversation. First of all, she's calling the doctor, okay? We see the TARDIS on some planet and we hear the phone ring and she's calling the doctor, but he's not answering yet.
Yeah.
And she's talking to her gran, and her gran's like, oh, it was terrible, wasn't it? Isn't it a terrible thing that's happened? Just terrible. And Clara's like, it wasn't terrible. It was boring.
Yeah,
It was
right.
so ordinary and dull and absolutely nothing. Like, 1 minute it was there and then he was just gone. It was fucking dull, you know?
It's, yeah, to see Clara, like, it's fucking bizarre to see this kind of reaction, but on a show like Doctor Who, where you're used to alien deaths and all this kind of paranormal, weird, fucking crazy alien shit, right? Like, this is boring. This is bland. And it's the everyday of it, which I think kind of surmises Danny really nicely, because Danny's always been the guy content with normal day life. Like, he's the one, I don't want to go into fucking space. I don't want to see aliens and stuff. Like, and he dies a normal fucking boring death. And Clara, like, despite knowing all the wonders of the universe, has to really reconcile with how dull that is. And it's kind of, I don't want to use the word disappointing, but it's a little bit, you can kind of see where she's like, this wasn't worth anything. This didn't do anything. It's an unsatisfying end.
I think there's something, this is so interesting to me.
Yeah.
This whole fucking sequence that happens next is so interesting.
Oh my lord.
Because, like, her gran says, like, oh, Danny, he deserved better. And Clara says, I don't deserve anything. No one deserves anything, okay? No one deserves anything. But I am owed, okay? I am owed better. And then her gran says, who owes you? And then at that point, the doctor answers the phone, okay? And goes, Clara? You know, as he does. and that's when the sting comes in. No, well, there's a little bit after that. But
well, there's Jenna Coleman, before we move on from that, before the sting, right? There's an Emmy head. Well, there's a way too late Emmy heading Jenna Coleman's way for how she answers the phone to the doctor and just completely is like, oh, same old, what's going on with you?
Yes,
like, that hurt to watch, that did.
Yes, and like you can still see the pain on her face though as well. You can still see all that grief, all that pain, everything on her face. And she's like, yeah, oh, and Clara's like, oh, well, sorry, I was busy, what's happening? And he's like, Clara's like, oh, nothing, you know, same old. And Clara said, the doctor, fucking hell, I'm all over the place. The doctor says, well, you're only human, so what can I do for you, Clara? And then we get the sting.
Yeah.
Then we come in with the sting. Very interesting. But this is so fucking interesting to me, and I'll tell you why after this ad break.
I wanted to do it. Fuck you.
We're back from the ads, everyone. Hello.
We're back from the ads. I was going to be like, what's interesting? These ads? But you beat me fucking to it.
I beat you to it. I literally just looked down and saw the time and I was like, oh shit, we better throw one in. Anyway, okay. So this is so interesting to me because Clara is jaded, okay? Clara is jaded because of what the doctor has shown her. Because the doctor has opened her mind and showed her all these wonderful, you know, alien planets and adventures, and she's traveled in time and she's done all this amazing stuff, okay? And then she still had to deal with the harsh reality of death, okay?
Yeah.
A normal, everyday, frankly boring death, and it's affected her this much, and she's jaded by that. She is like, how fucking dare this man, you know?
Yeah.
How dare this man make me have all this wonderful experiences and then give me this, you know?
How can you show me this and then tell me that, like, the simple fucking unfortunate truths of life, which is that people fucking die, how is that, how can I accept that after everything? Like, that's, mate, this whole sequence, and it's kind of like, we're just gonna, I think the way to talk about this is just kind of sum up the overall actions of what's going on, because this is a bit of a weird sequenced thing. You kind of get a bit back and forth in the volcano, out the volcano.
Yeah, it goes back and forth and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've all seen it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you've watched, I'm sure. If you haven't, and this is kind of like a pre-show thing, what are you doing?
Watch the episode and then come back if you haven't.
I cannot tell you how much more infinite pleasure you will get from the episode as opposed to our fucking ham-fisted commentary of it.
But, like, what a fucking opening, though. Coming out of the title sequence, okay, straight into this volcano. The Doctor waking up, not knowing where he is, what the fuck is going on, and then just seeing Clara there stood in front of him. What is happening, man? What a fucking mindfuck this all has to be.
It's like Mustafar levels of drama right here.
It is.
Clara literally kind of, the smoke parts for her in such a dramatic fashion. It's fantastic, yeah.
It's so good. It's so good, yeah.
I do like, because you get the context for it in Clara kind of walking through the TARDIS, and this is what I like about their relationship. The Doctor is just kind of talking, right? They're talking to each other, and the Doctor trusts her implicitly, so much so that Clara's just strutting about the TARDIS, opening drawers, opening boxes, just obviously doing her own thing, and she's got her own agenda at play, but the Doctor just doesn't even think twice. He trusts her implicitly in that place.
Yeah. What I will say, which is very cute, is that in Flatline, underneath the TARDIS, we saw the Doctor's little desk. He was working at his little desk, tinkering away. In this episode, we're seeing just behind that, there is Clara's desk as well. Yeah. They both have little desks under the TARDIS where they can do their work together. That's so fucking
she's
cute.
marking books and stuff.
She's doing her schoolwork and marking and stuff just in the TARDIS.
Oh, mate,
You telling me they're not married?
No, they're fully married, dude.
I mean, we'll get to it, but fucking hell, you know?
Oh my god, mate, that's fucking. It's a fantastically lived in space. Yeah, all right, fine.
It's so beautiful. Just all the books on the shelves, the little drawers that Clara's interacting with. She pulls. I think it's hilarious that she pulls a fucking one of these sleeping patch things out of a copy of The Time Traveler's Wife, famously. I mean, I feel like Moffat put that in there as a joke. Oh, Rachel Taylor put that in as a joke. Someone put that in there as a joke because a story he's adapted in Doctor Who like 3 fucking times or whatever, you know? It's very fun.
It's also like, it's fun that she, like, as a character kind of thing, she knows where all these keys are. Like, the Doctor's been yapping about these keys, obviously, and she knows. Like, oh man, I could go on. We're going to get too bogged down in tiny little moments like this when there is so much meat to enjoy in this story, if we're honest.
But yeah, she's essentially holding him hostage. She's got the keys, and she's like, you know, you will never set foot back in your TARDIS again. And she's like threatening to throw them in the volcano and stuff. It's so... Oh my god, it's so fucking... It goes against everything a companion should do. It's so fucking horrible and toxic and amazing. And I love everything.
Yeah, I know you do.
It's so good,
mate,
man.
I thought, before watching this, I thought I knew a couple of things. I thought I knew... We don't typically like to spoil all of the ending of the episode and stuff before we get there in the show, but I knew the ending, I knew Michelle Gomez, and I knew Danny. Right? Yeah, those are the big things I knew. Why did no one tell me there was all this secret meat to discover in this episode, Nathan? This is the kind of stuff I got to this, and I was like, "There's more juice.
There's more juice." Yeah.
What a phenomenal fucking scene. Yeah, you're right. It's so.
Like what I really love as well is the back and forth between the two of them as well, because the Doctor, like, he's on the back foot in this conversation. Clara holds the power because she has the keys and stuff, but then you can see him trying to take control back, like telling her to throw the keys in and stuff. He's like telling her, do as you're told and throw in the keys and stuff, acting like he doesn't care. And in a way he doesn't, because he is fundamentally the one in control of this whole situation. But like, we don't know that at the time, and it's still so interesting.
I also think there is a part of him that does deeply care, because it's not, at this point, we think the stakes for him are the keys. He knows the stakes for him as, how could she do
Clara.
this?
Yeah.
And that is, obviously we see in the next sequence that he is like, he's deeply affected by it and deeply hurt by it, even though he won't let it kind of badger him.
We'll get to that sequence, Lawrence.
We will. Right?
Trust me, I got some shit to say on that.
So just the fact that she lobs one in just to get his attention. Like, are you listening? Like, oh my lord, we're meaning business here right now.
It's so good. And then she says, like, she basically like says, bring Danny Pink back, bring him back, he's dead, bring him back, okay. And
he goes,
Yeah. But then he's like, and what do you want?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But it's really good. I love when she's like, yeah, I know it's impossible. I know it breaks all the rules of time. I do not give a fuck, okay?
Yeah.
Bring him back. I've seen you break every fucking rule there is, okay? Do it. Bring him back.
Yeah.
So good, man. She's so good.
It's so fucking good. And the fact that like it keeps escalating. She throws all the keys but one into the thing because he keeps saying no. And he's like, Clara's like, I fucking had it up to here, and that kind of stuff. And just the fucking... Is this the bit where, the doctor explains to her it's, like... This is a paradox. He tries to argue reason with Clara, who is obviously not going to see it. Like, if I save him, you'll never come here and ask me to save him, so I can't save him. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't work. Paradox loop. The timeline disintegrates your timeline. And yes, I did just say throw away the key. Yeah. Yes, man. Good, man. They don't. Neither of them are going to let go. I've got some stuff to say in a little bit about kind of like how couples argue, and it's very much coded like this. It's very 100%. Couples arguing is different to other arguing. It's wit based. It's who can win a retort as opposed to who can make a more logical and thought out point. Like, anyway, it all escalates. Yeah. They're going back and forth. Clara's yelling at the doctor. The doctor's yelling at Clara. She's like, I'll fucking throw this last one. I mean it. Clara, the doctor said, first of all, let me just say this. Shout out to this line. Clara, my Clara, I don't think you will. What a line, first of all. Yeah. Poetry, beautiful. Absolutely fucking love that. Okay. But then she does. She just throws in the last fucking one and then kind of has a breakdown. And this line from Clara is very telling, and I love it so fucking much as well. She kind of like breaks down and starts crying. Is like, I'd say I'm sorry, but I'd do it again. Yeah. I'd do it again. I would. And that's fucking amazing. That's so good. It's juicy. It's juicy. And I think the scene that follows might be even juicier, if you do say so. The scene that follows is possibly one of my favourite scenes in all of Doctor Who. You love a Clara and the Doctor in the TARDIS scene, didn't you? But this scene in particular is fucking incredible. But we'll that aside, we'll get to that in a second, okay? Mm-hmm. But that's when like the reveal happens. The Doctor kind of like pulls Clara out of the dream state. She didn't put the patch on him. He put the patch on her. Yeah. Basically. Oh no, I like that. She did put it on him, and he kind of went, "What? Oh, fuck that. I'm putting that on your hand, bitch." I've had enough of this. It didn't really work on him. No, yeah. Yeah. So he put the dream patch on her. She was the one who was in the dream state. And he was just like, I just wanted to see what you would do, basically. I wanted to see exactly where you was going with this, what you was planning and stuff, and just see how it all played out, really. And then he kind of just picks up the keys off the TARDIS console room, which is where they was the whole time, basically. Yeah. It's a bit of fun, bit of like a come down, I guess, but in a good way. I don't think it doesn't feel like anticlimactic. Like I can see the argument for whole like, oh, it was all a dream, it didn't matter. But it again, like we kind of said a minute ago, mattered. Yeah, it 100% mattered. It was the emotional stakes. It wasn't it wasn't the TARDIS keys burning. That was the drama. Yeah, it was the intent. Yes, okay? Yes, that's what it was. And that's what their next conversation is about. You know, Clara's like, oh, so what do we do now? You and me, you know, what happens now? And he says, go to hell. And she's like, yeah, fair enough, you know. Fucking absolutely fucking fair enough, yeah. And then she like goes towards the door. I love this so much. The look on 12's face at this point, the little frown of confusion. Yeah, that he does. The little way he burrows his brows and looks at like, Clara, what are you doing? You asked me what we're gonna do, and I said we're gonna go to hell. And this is such a beautiful scene. The way he's quite awkward in this moment, the Doctor. The way he like says, we're going to go to hell, or, you know, wherever people go when they die. We're going to go there and we're going to save Danny Pink, he says. And the way he says that, there's one moment, I think it says where he said, save Danny Pink, and he kind of like looks to the side, and there's just like a little bit of awkwardness about him, which just makes this whole interaction just so much more real and beautiful, I think. It's a human flaw, isn't it? Yes, like he can't. He's not hero saving the day. He's trying to say the right thing to his mate who he desperately loves. Yes. Well, and he'll flat out say that in a minute. Oh, but, yeah. But I did like that there was there's one thing about this, right? And this was maybe an unfortunate time for me to pause, right?
Oh, no.
Because when Clara says "go to hell" and the doctor looks at, when the doctor says "go to hell" and she kind of solemnly accepts it, right?
Yes.
I paused it and I basically wrote down to myself that there is like this is a romantic fight. This is not a friendship argument, right? And like there's something I don't know how to articulate it, but there's an exhaustion to fighting with someone that you desperately love, and like there's this kind of there's a tangible sadness that you're not. There comes a point I think where you're not pissed off at the thing that you were pissed off about. You're pissed off that you still have to do this and talk through it, like because it's exhausting, right? And I was like, this is a clearly couple coded fight, and then I unpaused it, and the doctor was like, oh, we'll go to hell, like actual hell. And I was like, oh, fuck me, I guess I got all that wrong.
Yeah.
I still think it's written in such a way, but yeah.
It is a couple-coded fight, 100%.
Yeah.
He says, we're going to go there, we're going to go save Danny Pink. And Clara's like, What the fuck? Why?
Yeah.
Why? What the fuck is wrong with you? Why? You gonna help me? And the doctor says, why wouldn't I help you? And she's like, because of what I just fucking did. And then, beautiful line from the doctor where he does get a moment to express some of that anger.
Yeah.
You know, he says, you betrayed me. You betrayed my trust. You betrayed our friendship. You betrayed everything that I stood for. This is another vocal stim of mine, much like, it's just a phone, Clara. I also love, you let me down. Okay. Yes. I love that as well. I love the chance where and that's the only point where he raises his voice. He raises his voice for just a second during that you let me down bit. And I think it's so real that he gets a chance to express that anger as well, because he is angry as much as, we'll discuss what we'll get into in a second. He is also angry, okay? And I feel like he has a right to be as well. But then she's like, then why are you helping me? And oh my god, okay, has there ever been a more explicit declaration of love without actually saying it? Okay, has there ever been anything so inherently explicit? He says, why do you think I care for you so little that betraying me would make a difference?
Have a week off, Moth.
Come on, man. Like, right, if you don't think there's any sort of romantic tension between Clara and the doctor, how can you hear that line and think of anything else?
Oh, they're just really good buddies, Nathan.
Come on, man. That is insane.
That's quite literally I'd die for you in a heartbeat. Yeah.
100%. Do you think I care for you so little that betraying me would make a difference? One of the most beautiful line. Most beautiful line. It's such a beautiful scene in general, but that line in particular is so fucking I love you. And that's it. That's 100% what it is. Yeah.
I think reading anything else from that, you kind of like, there's a part of me that like, willfully blind is maybe the wrong expression, but like, I do think you're going in with your fucking, your hands over your eyes if you're trying to tell me there's nothing romantic about this.
100%. Yeah.
Is that really like, is there a strong community out there that argue the opposite of what we do?
I think it was stronger back when it was on. Yeah.
Right.
I think it was I think in the years since people have come around a lot more.
Rewatches and such, double meanings and everything.
I think the main thing is probably like the age difference, which puts quite a lot of people off, really.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I do think people have come around I mean, there's still people who don't see it that way, but
I just don't get it. I really don't get it. It's one of them things that feels like 2 + 2 is 4. Like
100%.
Yeah, I can't quite articulate it better than that. But yeah,
and Clara's just like looking at him with like these like huge tear-filled eyes at this point, and he's like, "Stop it with the eyes! Like, how the fuck do you do that?
How would you even do that? It's like you inflate them or something."
Yeah. And then, they fucking go. They have to find Danny, or wherever the fuck Danny is.
Yes.
And the doctor says, like, this was a little bit earlier, but he says, almost every culture and species has some sort of reference to an afterlife or something.
Yeah.
I always meant to have a look around, see if I could find one. So that's what they're going to do. They're going to go to hell.
Well, she has to finger the TARDIS to go to Danny's time stream.
She has to finger the TARDIS once again. Yeah, we're back in the TARDIS fingering machine.
Hell yeah.
Bit of fun.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
I tell you what, might be of an episode filled with fantastic lines, right?
Yes.
I think this one has a special place in my heart, right? And I'm sure you would probably feel the same, even though I know you're probably going to favour the more dramatic ones.
If it's the one I'm thinking of, then I also do love it, but we'll see.
We will see. The music swells, and he's like... Clara says something to the effect of, I don't deserve a friend like you. And the Doctor says, I'm sorry, but I'm exactly what you deserve.
Yes.
Mate, the double meanings. How you can write two sentences that mean so fucking much, man. Like, literally, Clara's adoration for the Doctor and his loyalty, and simultaneously the Doctor's self-loathing and almost judgment of her.
Yeah.
Whilst also the entire sentiment expressing that these two would do anything for each other and also think that they're all each other deserve. Like, fucking phenomenal, right?
So good. So good. And so perfectly summed up as well.
Yeah.
In just a quick fucking one-off line.
Yeah.
You know?
I heard it, I went, no way. I rewound it. I heard it again, I went, no. I paused it and I went, I literally turned to my wife and went, this is unreal. This is absolutely fucking unreal, by the way.
Yeah.
She's there with her colouring app on her iPad, like, what are you talking about?
Anyway, so Clara's fingering the TARDIS,
and
the Doctor's like, think about Danny, think about the man you lost, let it hurt, let it burn, and then she's like, she's remembering, she's thinking about him, and then the music all swells and stuff, and then the TARDIS starts, the engines fire up, and this is kind of like a dramatic moment. They both like look up like, what the fuck is going on? And then it's like, the Doctor says, well, the TARDIS thinks he's somewhere. So off they go. They're following the breadcrumbs. The
very concept of the TARDIS thinking, like, yeah, there's an afterlife. I'll fucking take you. Like,
I've got a lock.
Yeah.
I've got something.
Mate,
so
the TARDIS going to a version of an afterlife is somehow the least interesting thing of this episode so far. And that's fucking wild to me.
Yeah. Anyway, Danny's awake.
Yeah, and he's not got any coffee.
No, yeah. So he's in, all throughout the season, we've been seeing cunts who, like, die, end up in the Nevisphere or the afterlife or whatever they call it, heaven, hell, fucking anything.
Coruscant, I call it.
Coruscant, yeah. But so now Danny's here, and in comes this little office boy from the thick of it and stuff.
And he's like, I'm the headmaster in Skins as well, by the way.
Oh, he is, isn't he? Yeah.
We have to, you know what we do? We point out the thick of it, we point out Skins, and we point out Gavin and Stacey.
He is. He's the college fucking, the head of the college, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's like, I gave you A's, and Effie's like, I didn't get A's, and he's like, oh, we don't care. We don't care about that.
We don't care. Yeah.
It's fine, don't worry about it. I'd take some free A's, by the way.
I'd take some free A's, but Effie's got a whole lot of shit going on.
Yeah. Effie's like, I'm actually quite depressed about A's.
I have severe mental health problems.
Yes. I was very neglected as a child, I think.
I was 14 going to warehouse raves and having sex with fully grown men, okay? Yes. I got so many issues you don't even know. Right?
I think my brother got in a fight one time because some guy was like, have sex with your sister, and he was like, I don't want to.
Mate. Yeah. And then I had to watch him get hit by a fucking bus, you know?
And then everyone sung for a bit. I don't know what that was.
Really weird. Even I sung for a bit, I think. What was going on there?
My dad's always in his pants. There's something going on there. Peter Capaldi's in this as well. He's Sid's dad.
Yeah, so. Peter Capaldi's Sid's dad, and my dad is Harry Enfield as well.
And he's in his pants. Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Still got skins.
That's good. Anyway, I love two men. Well, two boys. They're two boys. I love two boys, and one of them skates, and one of them's just a criminal.
Yeah, just the worst man.
Just the worst man. No, I like Kirk. He is objectively a horrible person.
Yes.
But he's a horrible person who sometimes does a nice thing, and then you're like, oh, you're kind of sweet.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. He's a person that 99% of the time is an utter despisable dickhead.
Yeah,
and then he'll do one thing.
Sometimes he'll be nice to someone, and you're like, "Oh, you're sweet."
Yeah, and like the nice thing is probably like picking up the fucking like a cigarette butt off the floor and being like, "Do you want half of this fucking cigarette with me or something?"
To be fair, he does. I mean, he I won't spoil it, but he
shoots that guy.
No, not shoots.
Oh no, he doesn't. No, he wants to fight that guy. He's like, I'm Kirk.
Yeah.
And then the other guy, he doesn't shoot him, but he does.
What other guy?
The other guy in the Cook movie.
Oh yeah.
Does he shoot him?
He shoots him. Yeah.
Good on him.
Yeah.
Prick, that guy.
Good for Cook.
Yeah,
Anyway.
good skin stuff there.
Yeah, good skin stuff.
So Danny's in with the headmaster from Skins. That's who we were.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, real quick, man. Are you getting cremated? Like, we kind of gotta let's know this quick. All right, we can get ahead of this if we can.
Well, he says that, but then he just puts down. I'll just put it down. You are. That's the default, basically.
Yeah.
And then he just goes off to the side and goes, "We got a burner in room 6."
Yeah, he's like,
right.
he says something that like it immediately fucking rings alarm bells, right? To an innocent viewer such as myself, right?
Yeah.
Which was, that's the default option, really. Oh, if only people knew. And it's like, huh? You what? What does that mean?
We'll get to it. We'll find out.
We certainly will. Oh my lord.
Yes. So yeah, Danny's very confused. Clearly, he doesn't know where he is. He doesn't know what the fuck is going on. And then. Does he explain it? What happens? He's you're dead.
He goes, we're in heaven or hell or something.
Yeah. He's like, you're dead, and this is what's next.
Yes.
Basically. Yes.
And Danny's hyperventilating. He's like, do you want to breathe into a bag?
Yes. He says, welcome to the underworld, otherwise known as the Nevisphere or the Promised Land, which is all the names we kind of heard of it throughout the season in these like the end of episode teasers or whatever. But yeah, that's where Danny is now.
Where are you at with these, like, kind of, as we've been watching them, like these kind of interesting teases? Like, now that we're seeing this, like, I guess concept fully realized in an episode, like, they working for you as like a series arc kind of thing?
I think so. Yeah, yeah. I think they're working for me. They've been good little teases. I mean, you kind of like get the gist of them after like 1 or 2 or whatever. But I think they've been enough, and I think they've been well spread out to not seem overbearing. Yeah. And to not be like too much or whatever. And now it's interesting that we're getting some payoff, that we're finding out more about it, basically. Yeah. So yeah, I feel like
they haven't littered them at the end of every, like, there hasn't been the obligatory death per episode, so we can shove one in, kind of thing.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I think they're good. I think it's akin to Silence Will Fall, Crack in the Wall kind of stuff. Like, makes sense. So we're in the Doctor and Clara, they're off to find Danny. The Doctor gives her a great little pep talk.
Yes.
Essentially, like, I need skeptical, not mopey or something.
Yes. I need skeptical, clever, critical. I don't need mopey. It puts years on your face. And and what if people see us together?
I love that he's seemingly blind to the fact that he's far more wrinkly than Clara.
Yeah, it's very fun. And Clara's like, are you forgetting why we're here? And he says, oh, we're here to get your boyfriend back, so buck up, give me some attitude. Yeah. He says, that's good. It's a good little pep talk, I think.
It is a good pep talk, considering especially what they've just been discussing in the TARDIS. Like,
yes.
Good on him for soothing the vibes again.
100%. Anyway, they step out of the TARDIS, and where do they step into, Lawrence?
Oh, we all know.
That's right. It's the Cardiff Museum.
Hey-oh, he's back.
We are so fucking back. We are reaching unprecedented levels of the Cardiff Museum this season.
Right? Mate, it's one of them fucking things where, like, the fact that it's like Cardiff Museum is a one-to-one counterpart for their idea of the afterlife / heaven. Like, incredible.
Yeah. It has to be the most well-used Doctor Who filming location there is, really. Like, it's especially during this era, it comes up so fucking much, man.
But you can see, like, especially that little staircase bit, like, you look at it and you go, you can even, like, even as a casual Doctor Who fan, you can go, huh. Yeah, I know that. I know that's
when Matt Smith walked up in the Vincent and the Doctor episode, and he did the little thing next to the statue, which they just put like a box around. It was like, "Welcome to the afterlife," or whatever that box says. You know?
Yeah, let's just hide that with a box, some sci-fi nonsense box or whatever.
I want a full episode of Doctor Who set in the Cardiff Museum.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Finally, they can use the location for what it actually is. You know?
Oh, well, like as the Cardiff Museum?
Not as like London, Metropolitan Museum or whatever, just as the fucking. And I don't think it's actually called the Cardiff Museum as well.
No, but
it's just a museum that's in Cardiff.
But colloquially, that's what the Stillgotlegspodcast knows as. Yeah.
What is it actually called? Cardiff Museum.
We're gonna get to the bottom of this.
It's the National Museum of Cardiff.
Oh, okay, close enough.
National Museum Cardiff, or Amgadefa Ganandethol Khalid. That was probably butchered, but there we go.
Well, no, but that's it now. Every single time we mention it, we have to use that now.
No, I don't think we will. I don't think we will.
It's kind of I know it's Cardiff Museum and it is funny, but like it is kind of dressed up interestingly. Like there's some skeletons in some weird little tanks and stuff.
So yeah, there's these fish tank-esque things with skeletons on little chairs. So that's kind of spooky. And
Doctor's like their tombs, and he does. I quite like this. The Doctor is literally landed in what the TARDIS at least is referring to as the afterlife. Right.
Yes.
And the Doctor is like immediately like, yeah, tombs, that makes sense. But why the fuck does someone want to watch over them? Why are they see-through? Why are they in chairs? Like, there is not a single thing that the Doctor skips over, which is hilarious because there's a part in the episode later in where something is so transparently blatant and clear in front of him, and he's like, don't know what that is. I don't know what's going on.
We'll get to that.
We certainly will. Oh, my lord. Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway,
so Clara's like, am I going to find Danny now? Is that why the TARDIS brought us here? Because I don't want to fucking see him like that, basically. Excuse me. And that's when the Doctor finds this little hologram thing.
Yeah, little cube or something.
Like a little cube or some shit, and then it like does like a bit of basically context exposition, gives us a little thing. It's like, 3W, death is not the end, but we can help with that, blah, 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 blah. And there's basically, the voice is actually Missy.
Yeah. Doing some kind of off-brand odd Missy voice, but...
Off-brand, like, AI American, but sometimes not American accent. Yeah, very strange.
Very strange. But I also think like that to say it's like kind of all over the shop is not a comment on performance. Michelle Gomez is clearly going for a weird fucking thing.
Yes, intentionally like hodgepodge and patched together and weird and stuff. Yes. Yeah.
Someone playing a joke, you might say.
Unsettling, yes. Intentionally unsettling, yes. Anyway, Missy's here. She steps through the hologram, and the way she steps through is very funny. By the way, because she steps through and goes right up to the Doctor, just like right in his fucking face, which is quite fun.
I was reminded to Eleven's infamous "I am the Doctor" kind of moment. Yeah,
yeah. It's good. The Doctor's like, okay, well, we're in no hurry, like backing up and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. And what happens here? What happens next?
So essentially, Michelle Gomez is kind of wondering what's going on. I'm calling her Michelle Gomez for the time being, by the way.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. That's fine. Yes.
Michelle Gomez is kind of like, well, what's going on with you guys? And the Doctor can't really. I kind of like this. This is a good little interesting beat from performance from Capaldi. It's very rare this Doctor is speechless. Very, very rare. But he finds himself kind of needing to lie and doesn't quite know what to say. And I think there's a part of his subconscious that is like, something's fucked, and I don't know what.
Something's off. Something's off. I don't know what, but something's really off. Yeah.
Because there is that infamous thing they always know to some capacity. Yeah.
But do they?
No, but
not really.
But sometimes they might.
Yeah. Anyway, Michelle Gomez says, apologies. Clearly you've not received your official greetings package.
Yeah.
And then just kisses the Doctor. Just pushes him against the wall and kisses him. Very interesting and funny in hindsight, okay?
Extremely so, yeah.
Extremely funny, and also proves a long-running theory.
Oh, yes.
I would imagine as well.
Say my name. Yes. We can take it all the way back to season 3. We told you so.
It has always been erotic.
Oh, okay? Yes.
And first of all, well done on Peter Capaldi for having just the utmost fucking chemistry and charisma with literally everyone on screen.
So
you know?
true. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway,
No, he could find like a good chemistry and good performance with a broom. Like, he's fucking phenomenal.
He is electric.
But yeah, so she does very passionately kiss the Doctor. He's very taken aback.
And I believe this is the only possibly on-screen kiss that the 12th Doctor has.
Oh, really? Okay.
I might be wrong with that. I might be wrong, but I also might not be. I can't remember off the top of my head. Off the top of my head, it feels like the only one, but maybe there's one I'm misremembering.
12 feels to me, with what little I've seen of him properly, 12 seems to me as more the yearning romantic as opposed to the promiscuous Doctor that's always out fucking.
Yes, the passionate.
Yeah.
Days of 10 and 11.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whereas 10 was promiscuous, 11 was a little bit flirty and fun.
11 was a slut.
Mate, 11 was dicking non-stop.
11 was the biggest whore there was.
It really was.
He was always naked under a skirt or whatever.
How'd I get here? Doesn't matter. My dick's out.
Jesus Christ.
That's what he'd say.
I don't know if he would.
Sorry, I'm in Patreon vibe. This isn't paywalled.
It's not, no. There are edits here, unlike on Patreon.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. And then Michelle Gomez, she turns to Clara, is like, oh, you've also not received the welcome package. And Clara's like, I'm fucking good.
I'm all right.
I am good.
Thanks, but I'm going to pass.
Yeah.
I do love this bit, that she introduces herself as Missy and then claims that that's Mobile Intelligence Systems Interface.
Yes.
And just the delivery, the kind of slight the head tilts, the robotic delivery of it. And then the Doctor and Clara going back and forth about how lifelike she is. I'm like, you fucking morons. Look, use your fucking eyes. I swear to God.
It is interesting, though, because you're coming into this knowing, okay?
Yes. Yeah.
You are coming into this knowing. And I will say, watching all of this in hindsight, it is all very obvious, okay? Once you have the knowledge of what the reveal actually is, you can see it so fucking clearly, okay? That's not the case when you're watching it for the first time. I'll get into it, but the reveal fucking blew me away.
Yeah.
Okay. I was shocked beyond belief. Okay. So when I was watching this for the first time, I was like, she was a robot all along? What the fuck? Whoa, I didn't know that.
But she looks so real and not like a robot.
Exactly.
Because they never did any robot things with her before. But I like that, though. I kind of like the episode. Yes, you're right. In hindsight, I can imagine it's very, very fucking blatant. And also, like, I don't have the memory of my experience of this episode, obviously, but like there is an element where, because I know plot details, I'm looking at things, connecting dots before they're supposed to be. But I will say the episode is good at keeping you kind of at an arm's length, because for literally the joke I just made, we've seen Missy a few times and she's never been robotic. Yeah. So we're led to believe that whoever this version of Missy is, she's playing games. Like, she's immediately up to some funny business.
There is mischief afoot.
Yeah, and you can tell that in her performance. There's so many cutaways to Michelle Gomez in this going...
She's having so much fun with it. And what I really like is, like, the Doctor says, I need to speak to whoever's in charge here. And Missy just goes, I am in charge? And it's so fun. The delivery is so much fun, man.
Yeah, it's
really good. Yeah, and then he asks, like, well, who repairs you? Who maintains you? And she's like, there's like a moment of mystery where she's like, oh, that's the Doctor. My heart belongs to the Doctor, or whatever. And then she just goes, Dr. Chang!
She's toying, man. She's toying with him. There's that again. Obviously, there's that moment of the Doctor holding out his hand to one of the. I think Missy grabs his hand and pushes it to her heart.
Yes,
heart,
her
singular.
Hearts. Yes.
And the Doctor's again, like, you don't get much of a sense of it, and this episode is so fucking brilliant at showing you Capaldi registering some things.
Yes,
and mulling things over. The fact that his hand is still there and Clara has to be like, you probably put your hand down now. And you think, oh, maybe he's just flustered by the kiss.
No, but he knows. He felt the heartbeats.
Yeah. And so he's like, but like there is that plausible deniability. Like, did I? Was that what I thought? It's so good.
Yeah, 100%. Peter Capaldi also gets to say, he also gets to ask Doctor Who as well. Man. Beautiful moment. I cheered, obviously.
Of course,
Bit of good fun, yeah. Anyway, Dr. Chang comes in.
Yeah.
This beautiful little boy.
Yeah.
And he's like, Hello, I'm Dr. Chang. I'm a beautiful little boy. What's going on here?
It's a beautiful little boy. Not quite the words I would use for him, but
You wouldn't call him a beautiful little boy?
he's a handsome devil. I'll say this, but he lets some motivations of things slip a little bit later on, which I'm not.
No, he's
a pervert, man.
No, he's not.
He's a pervert. He's like, oh, I wish we could have this X-ray.
Oh yeah, okay, fair enough.
He's jacking it by the edge of the pool.
Yeah, that's weird. But like, he's mostly alright.
Yeah, he seems alright. He seems like he's just got one thing he needs to work on.
He's not part of this whole nefarious fucking. He still thinks Missy's a robot.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
He doesn't know what's going on. Anyway, Dr. Chang's here.
Yeah.
He's like, hello, I'm Dr. Chang, condolences. And then he's like, is there a particular dead person that you want to speak to? Or whatever.
And Clara's like, as it goes, yeah.
As it fucking goes, mate.
Yeah.
You're banging on the money.
My fella was just fucking knocked down by a car.
Yeah. Let's fucking go.
The skeletons are moving.
There are, yes, they move off. Nice little moment, though, where the doctor asks Clara if she's okay. And she says no, and then holds out her hand for him to take, which he does. And then he says, good, there'd be something very wrong with you if you were, which is nice and interesting.
Just a sweet moment, yeah.
Yeah. And then they walk off, and Missy's got a little smile on her face, a little sinister, mischievous smile.
She's always giggling, man. She's always got something up her sleeve.
She's up to no good. Anyway.
So Danny's on the balcony in Coruscant Heaven. Right.
He's cold.
He is very cold. I wonder why.
I wonder if we'll come back.
They've got. This is so dumb. This is akin to that kind of the sat nav thing. Remember that sat nav joke a while back with the kid,
the TomTom boy.
Yeah, the TomTom boy. Yeah, Thomas.
I don't think it's like that. Thomas. Yeah, I don't think this is like that.
Maybe not, but it's akin to the stupidity of we've got iPads because Steve Jobs is dead.
I don't think he says explicitly that's why. He's like, Danny is a little shocked that they have iPads in heaven, and he's like, iPads? We have bloody Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs died and went, let's get to work.
Yeah, let's make some iPads.
No, I did it down there. I can do it here too.
All right. But they're the old chunky iPads, though.
Yeah.
So those massive fucking bezels.
He's been slacking.
Yeah.
He's not been making good new iPads in heaven.
Not making the iPad Pro with the M4 chip or whatever.
Just too many M's. Too many M chips.
Too many M chips, yeah.
I didn't just buy it. Like a fucking year ago, I bought a laptop. And then by that point, I'd already bought it. They were like, we got 7 more M chips. I was like, I just bought one of the older M chips now. And I thought it was new.
Which one did you get?
I've still got M1.
You got M1?
Yeah.
Brother, that's dirt, man.
I know it is.
I had the M1 MacBook Air. Now I've got the M4 Mac Mini now. And let me tell you, that bitch, first of all, the best deal in fucking anything. Okay?
A crime, almost. Yeah.
Incredibly good deal. Initially it was £600, but I traded in my M1 MacBook Air and got like basically 300 quid off that. So it was basically 300 fucking quid.
Which is
basically
fucking nuts, by the way.
You
get 2 pairs of AirPods for that.
yeah, exactly.
That's wild.
So,
anyway, the headmaster of Skins is here to Danny.
Let us know what Apple computer you.
Yeah. Tell us what the deal was too.
Yeah, what was the deal? Was it good? Probably not.
We don't. If you're gonna be like, I got the Uni Days deal. We've been there, man. We don't know. No one needs to tell us about the Uni Days deal.
Right, you got 100 days off. Good for you. All right?
Yeah, nice.
100 quid off. Sorry, 100 quid off. Good for you. Praise, all right?
So yeah, this guy comes in. He's a bit of a smarmy bloke. The headmaster from Skins. He's like, you ever killed anyone? And Danny's like, ignoring that.
Yeah.
If we're being honest, I'm gonna escape by that. Danny's got a few more questions, but the main crux of the scene, I guess, is that this isn't afterlife. It's just more life.
Yeah. I kind of like the way he explains it. He's like, imagine if babies in wombs could talk to other babies in other wombs, okay? What would they say? They'd be like, oh, life is 9 months long, and then boom, out you fall, gone forever, and then there's fucking nothing at the end of life, Yeah. But no, there's a whole fucking life after that, okay? And that's basically what this is. It's not afterlife, it's not heaven, it's just what comes next, basically. And that's a fun way of explaining it.
It's a very fun way. I think Stephen Moffat has a real talent for sci-fi concepts, distilling them into something fucking absolutely stupid and relatable.
Yes, yeah, I think so too. I think he does a good job of that.
He does very good. But yeah, so Danny starts having some memory flashes, Right, he's getting like a couple of flashbacks, and the guy's like, "That's common. That will happen." I'm like, "Oh, that's happening in real time, is it?" You can see that occurring.
He can see that, yeah, probably. He's seeing his days in the army. We're seeing Danny in presumably Afghan.
Yeah, he's having Nam flashbacks.
He's having Nam.
He's like, fucking hell, the guy's like, turn down that Rolling Stones in your memory. Take me to the jungle.
Anyway, this guy, the headmaster from Skins, is like, we've had a request to meet you. Any idea who that would be from? And then we kind of see what happened to Danny, like, back in Afghanistan, basically.
Yeah.
These flashbacks cut in with, like, him talking to the headmaster from Skins and stuff. And it seems like Danny killed a kid, basically.
Yes.
Danny accidentally killed a kid in Afghanistan.
I think it's intentionally a little hazy and a bit vague, but I think what would happen is he was taking on fire from a building, and he essentially committed a bit of a spray and pray, and inside that building was a child. Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Which is pretty fucking brutal, really.
Fucking horrendous, and like I think adds. I think the bad faith reading of it would be like, I've been shooting for this guy, he killed a kid, that's rough stuff. But like, in terms of fleshing out a character that's a soldier and obviously has a lot of trauma surrounding
this is something he's clearly heavily affected by, and we've seen that earlier in the season. Now we have context for him, like, you know, when that kid asked him, have you ever killed anyone, sir? And him like fucking freaking out and having a breakdown at that moment and stuff. It makes sense why now.
Dude, like, as a genuinely not even a setup, like, genuinely I'm interested in your take on Danny from what we learn about him in this episode.
What do you mean?
I understand it's probably not going to change your stance on like how he is with Clara and
Danny as a person, no issue with him.
Yeah.
As a person on his own, fine. As a partner for Clara, no.
You're not a fan,
Not a fan, just because I don't like the way he, in my opinion, my perceived opinion, I don't like the way he looks down, manipulates, and controls her.
Yes, okay. Which you have said,
Yes.
But like, I would say as a compelling character, I think he's fleshed out nicely in this. I think it does add a lot of depth to him as a person. I
think this really adds a very interesting layer to Danny.
Yeah,
it makes him. He's not the most interesting character.
No,
in Doctor Who. He is a little boring.
His whole purpose is there to drive adversarial conversation between the Doctor and Clara, and also to make Clara more interesting by showing us that she's not fucking Little Miss Perfect either.
Yes, 100%. Anyway, so the young boy has requested to meet Danny. It's not actually Clara that this request was coming from. It was this little boy.
Yeah.
And we see him like kind of like peering around the corner at Danny. So yeah, there we go.
Danny's up. I am not having a good time with this.
This is not a scenario I thought would be happening today. Let me tell you. I was on my way to Clara's. We were going to have a date or whatever, and now I'm looking at the little boy I killed. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
And I'm in some weird fucking space heaven or some nonsense.
And it's cold.
And it's cold. Yeah, man. Can someone get me a goddamn fucking cup of coffee?
We'll come back to that. Anyway, so Clara and the Doctor, they're in this office place in Chang's office, I presume.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Oh, come in, I need to take a reading from Clara." And the Doctor's quite intrigued by one of the little skeleton bone cases in the room as well.
Yeah. This is phenomenal secret exposition, by the way.
It's so good. The reveal of the exposition later.
Yeah.
It's so, the reveal is so good, and it makes me wish there wasn't like any marketing for the finale or we already knew who the monster was, because it's such a good reveal. But we'll get to that.
It's phenomenal, but I just think like, the way they weave this in, like you said, we will get to the actual reveal of it, but just being like, the Doctor has a natural curiosity. We spoke about this, but again, about why are people so interested in looking at the fucking dead? Like, why does a tomb have windows? This is just another one of them Doctor Who things where writers naturally have to just give the Doctor 1,000 questions, and so many of them get breezed over, and this is one that turns out to be incredibly important, but it's presented as a nothing throwaway line.
Yeah, and Chang even says each body is encased in a support exoskeleton.
Yeah, okay? Like, come on!
Yeah, and then they're like, an invisible exoskeleton, and then we get the demonstration of how it works. Okay, so the fluid the tanks is something they call dark water, basically, which is the name of the episode.
Yeah.
And he like does a demonstration where he puts his hand in a little tank, and then his sleeve and his watch disappear. So you just see the flesh of his arm. So it removes all non-organic material. Okay.
Yeah.
And then he's a pervert and is like, we should put it in swimming pools.
Look, it's a joke we would absolutely make, right? Like, oh, this pervert.
I don't know if it is.
No, we wouldn't. This pervert wants it. We would make a joke about it if he hadn't said it, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a weird colour.
We wouldn't say, oh yeah, I think we should put it in swimming pools.
Yeah.
What we would do is say, oh, you'd love it if that was in swimming pools, wouldn't you? We would make someone else the pervert. Yeah. That's what we would do.
But we don't need to. Stephen Moffat made him a pervert for us.
This guy just made himself a pervert. He took a bullet.
There's a weird self like moment of just out of. By the way, I'm a pervert. I wonder how you guys feel about this.
All right. I like the doctor being confused by that as well. The doctor cannot understand what he's talking about.
I am thinking about it. He's like, think about it. I am thinking about it.
He's like, why? I don't get it. What does he mean?
Mate, if this was Randy Matt fucking Smith Doctor, oh my God,
he'd be like, yeah, me too. Let me put my dick in it.
Let me put my dick in it. Yeah, it turns out that the guy's like, I actually haven't, like, oh, by the way, there's like 3 words. The company's founded on 3 words. This 3W thing.
Oh, yeah, 3W.
Yeah, it's come about from 3 words. It's the kind of the crux of the entire company's ethos and reason for being, right? And
just before that, I will say, I think there's a fun little reference to the thick of it, I think, because the doctor, it gives him the psychic paper.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, oh, another government inspection? What's with all this swearing?
Yeah.
Which I think is a reference to Malcolm from the thick of it, which is good stuff.
Almost certainly. But like, even if it's not, it's a fun way to look at it is the doctor it's reading the doctor's mind, and this is an inherently grumpy doctor. So like he's like, oh, I've got to do the fucking psychic paper thing. Fuck you. I'm a government inspector. Fuck you.
Anyway, yeah, 3W. What does 3W stand for?
Well, we don't necessarily immediately find out, but we do find out that it's going to fucking rock them to their core.
Well, I guess it stands for the 3 words.
Yes, yeah.
But
we don't find out there's 3 words, and oh my God, I'm not joking. My fucking my skin fucking ran cold, mate, when I heard those 3 words.
Yeah. So what are the 3 words?
Well, do we say now because we don't?
As in what? Like,
oh, what's the organization?
Yes. What? Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, a fucking I don't know, place for dead cunts, basically.
Okay, great.
Don't throw to me. That's not in my notes.
All right. Sorry. Anyway.
My next thing is Danny apologizing to the kid he shot. He sat on a table with him.
Yeah, well, there's a bit of back and forth between the Doctor and Clara because Chang's like, oh, people kind of freak out when they hear this and stuff, and the Doctor's like, we're not going to freak out, we're good, mate. And he's like, well, if you've had a recent loss, it can be disturbing. And the Doctor just goes, she'll be fine. And then Clara goes, speak for me again and I'll detach something from you. Very fun. I enjoyed that.
Also a fun kind of Doctor-like insult. Like, yeah, just interesting stuff right there. I love, we are a little bit all over the shop now because this episode is very, from this point on, kind of back and forth. Yeah,
it's very, as Moffat likes to do.
Oh, yeah, he loves a bit of a choppy fucking sequence rushing towards an end, yeah. But something that a line that I really fucking like is that the pervert guy being like, the founder of this place thought that it was a telepathic message from the dead, and the Doctor goes, why? Is he an idiot? So fucking good.
That's so good.
It's genuine as well. Like, it's an actual question.
Oh, Peter Capaldi is so fucking good, man. Why? Is he an idiot?
Is he an idiot? Also, in and amongst all of this as well, Danny tries to apologize to this kid, but the kid, like, he goes to, like, hold his hand.
Yeah.
And the kid
and he,
just
pulls
out.
back.
Yeah.
Which is understandable, I think.
Yeah, you shot me,
dude.
Yeah.
And Danny's like, hey, listen. Like, let him go.
Let it, mate. Yeah, you lost it. Yeah, you lost it whenever you shot him, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't know why this kid wants to meet him anyway, quite frankly.
I just think it's something they do. I think it's a bit of fun that they all have these weird pervert employees sit around.
Oh, they're all like, make them meet the person who killed them
Yeah.
or whatever, just so we can have some tea.
Yeah,
I guess,
yeah. There's fuck all else going on.
Yeah, I guess maybe
They're all in the staff room like that kid met Danny. And they're like, oh fuck, I'm gutted. I missed that one. I bet it was really awkward. I bet he cried.
Yeah. Anyway, Danny, they hear someone screaming.
Yes.
And then Danny's like, Jesus, what the fuck is that? And the guy from Skins, he says, sounds like somebody left their body to science. Anyway, probably time to explain why you're feeling cold.
Dude, gives me the creeps, man.
This is all intercut very well, because as that happens, we're also finding out from Dr. Chang, like, what the actual 3W is and stuff,
Yes.
and what the 3 words are and stuff. So, yeah, it's all very well cut. They're basically saying that the founder, who is some cunt called Dr. Scarosa, does he even exist? I don't know. He discovered basically noises in the static from a television, basically. The static white noise from a television. He, like, fed that through some fucking shit or whatever and discovered noises, and he basically figured out that those were the voices of the dead. And that's when the doctor goes, so an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is very
Well, that is nutter behaviour, isn't it? Like, trying to claim that that's some fucking bollocks. That I mean, look, I guess he won't.
Yeah.
If he exists, is the other thing. Like,
this is good as well. Chang's like, he's been very serious about this. He's like, what I'm about to play will be very disturbing for you, okay? These 3 words caused him to set up institutions to protect the dead, and there's still time if you don't want to hear this. And the doctor's like, can you just hurry up, please, or I'll hit you with my shoe.
yeah. Such a good line. Because he over-eggs it, doesn't he? He sells it so much.
And I just love the impatience and just annoyance of 12. He's just like, oh, for fuck's sake, can you just get to it?
Enough
man?
of the speech, brother. Like, let's go.
Anyway, that's when we hear it. That's when we hear the 3 words, the 3W.
Yeah. Don't cremate me.
Yes.
Oh
Don't
my
cremate me.
God.
Yeah, pretty fucking horrible to think about, really, isn't it?
I have a vague memory. Maybe you'll be able to cast some light on this. And I deliberately didn't look it up because I kind of wanted to know what your memory of this was. Right?
Okay.
Did this episode, for reasons I now understand, receive a hell of a lot of fucking complaints into the BBC?
I don't know.
I think it did. I don't know if I've just false memoried that, but
You might have false memoried that. But I don't. I honestly have no idea.
I don't know why I have a vague memory of just Ofcom just getting fucking blasted by being like, this
People
is a
are
kid show.
idiots.
Like,
People are idiots,
Yeah.
and do complain over stupid things.
but
you
I'll
know?
say, this creeped me out and I'm fucking 28. If I watched this as a kid, it would have fucking rocked my shit. Let me tell you that. Like,
Yeah, but it's Doctor Who, though, isn't it?
I know, but it's a horrifying concept for a child. I'm not being funny. Right, as a soon-to-be father, ain't no way. Ain't no way I'm sitting down my fucking kid to watch this episode of Doctor Who.
Your kid's not even born yet. They don't understand the concept of death.
No,
okay?
I know, but it would have to... Oh, my God. I don't even know what age would be appropriate for that, but it ain't fucking young, let me tell you that.
Jesus, all right.
No, but can you...
Lawrence is coming in hard with the censorship.
I am. Yo, I've just experienced 1984, Nathan. So.
Oh, God, fuck off, man.
And there's that pervert. I don't want to expose any child to this kind of weird
It's true,
swimming pool
he's a weird
nonsense.
pervert, yeah. Anyway, yes, the dead are saying, don't cremate me. That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
And then Chang is like, there's one simple, horrible truth that never occurred to anyone. The dead remain conscious. The dead are fully aware of everything that is happening, which is why Danny is so cold. Because he's basically on a slab in a morgue, essentially, in a chilled morgue, which is why he's so cold. I will say that is a very good build-up and reveal from Moffat.
Yes.
The little, I'm cold, it's cold here and stuff, and just a little sprinkling in of those throughout the scene, building up to that. Yeah. It's good stuff.
It's fucking... It's...
Brother knows what he's doing. He should be all right.
He should be, mate. I would like to see him as a little showrunner from time to time.
Yeah, he might be good, yeah.
Oh, I'd love to see a second run of The Muff as a showrunner.
I would too, but get someone
It's
new.
new voice time. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
new voice time. It's new blood, you know? Not just the same 3 dudes
Yeah.
as it's been for the past 20 years, you know?
Kate Herron. Call her.
Yes,
You've
that's
got her
what I'm
number.
saying. Yes, or me.
Or us together.
I'll do it. No, just me.
No, because we get to think about the planning sessions we could put on Patreon, Nathan.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, all right.
And we'd get to our run in the era on Still Got Legs, and we'd be like, this is a fucking phenomenal episode.
This is a 10 out of 10 certified banger. Okay.
We'd eventually...
Weirdo. There was no weirdo, actually.
We would eventually get to a point where we have to quit Still Got Legs and we just hire the hosts of that weird BBC Doctor Who podcast just to praise, just to literally glaze us for 2 hours.
I'm not doing that. They haven't even seen the show.
I know, but they're just like, they're reading their little cards being like, I love the Doctor.
I love the Doctor.
Yeah.
Is it?
As we all know, the Doctor is from Gallifrey, so...
Yes. And the TARDICE, it's certainly a good machine.
I love it when the Doctor gets in his classic machine, the TARDIS.
Yes.
Wish there was a breezier way to say that, but there's not. We've all seen it.
Yes. Anyway, good stuff.
So yeah, man, just like it's a fantastic reveal. The concept of the dead being conscious is, I'm sure Stephen Moffat's not the first to crack it, but it feels like untapped potential.
Not. Yeah, it's quite spooky.
Yeah.
Quite unsettling in a way. Makes you like just go, ooh, you know, just like gives you the EBGBs, as it were. So Danny has been kept in a cold place, and he's like, you did say you were being cremated, and then you're like, Jesus, okay, well that's something. Yeah. And then Danny gets a phone call, basically.
Yeah. Now this is where the episode starts to go off the fucking rails.
It
already is, but this is where we're hurtling to the end now.
Yes.
And this gets a bit wild. Danny gets a call, which we'll talk about a little bit more in a sec. The Doctor is simultaneously thinking that this is all a con. I kind of like this from him.
Yes.
It's a concept that seems so horrific that the Doctor's like, bollocks.
Yeah.
It's bollocks.
I do like the skepticism from the Doctor. It makes sense. I feel like he's going to be inherently skeptical because it's dealing with the afterlife and stuff and everything like that. So I feel like he's already quite skeptical about this. But then everything he's been shown is like, this doesn't make sense. And also there was that woman earlier with 2 hearts, maybe. So like, something is going wrong here, but he can't quite place it, which is interesting.
He knows something's afoot, but I also think there's an element of his character that's like, if this is real, I'm so out of my depth and chilled to my bones. Like,
100%.
Missy, like again, Michelle Gomez just having so much fun with it. She does a little clap, and all the skeletons do a little stand up.
They do, which is quite freaky.
Yeah. Why are they listening to her? They're dead, Nathan. I don't get it.
I don't know. They do, and they in Dr. Chang's office, the one also gets up, but they don't notice that. They're all busy at the desk or whatever.
There's we've spoken about this a little bit already, but there's an inherent, I would say almost pantomime-esque quality to this episode. In the turn around, he's behind you. Yeah, 100%. And also the Doctor being like, I'm missing something so obvious. What could it be? Like, those moments are so audience bait.
Yeah.
And it's done in a way that is so like, he knows he put the legwork in, and the hint hand was subtle enough in the build up that in the last 10 minutes he really is like, fucking got you cunts. Like, check this out. This is the coolest shit you'll ever fucking see.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh.
Anyway, so Clara's on the phone to Danny, and he's like, are you there? And they can't really hear each other. The signal shit in the afterlife, I guess.
Yeah. Classic Steve Jobs.
Classic Steve Jobs. Fucking no good, is he?
He's got them thick bezels. What's he doing? Wasting time.
He needs to be replaced with Tim Apple in the afterlife.
So, is Steve Wozniak dead? Is he dead yet?
I don't think Steve Wozniak is dead.
Wow.
Actually.
Okay, so there you go. You're waiting.
I might be wrong.
He was the bezels man, clearly.
He was the bezels man. I think Johnny Ive, if anything, was the bezels man.
Who's Johnny Ive? I don't know Johnny Ive.
For the longest time, Johnny Ive was the lead designer for Apple products. He was and he also used to do all the voiceovers of all the product announcements and stuff.
Oh, okay.
He was the guy who had the very soft spoken British voice and was like, this is the iPhone. Use an iPhone. I sound nothing like him, but he was that very soft spoken British guy.
They should get you to do it, I reckon.
They should. I should do it.
Yeah.
This is the iPhone.
Hello, Lance.
Steve Wozniak is still alive.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
There we go, man. That's why the bezels.
Yeah. That's why the bezels.
Oh, okay. And there's no signal.
I don't think he has any. He hasn't been anything to do with Apple for the longest time.
So it's like before Steve Jobs died, yeah?
Way before. I think they had quite a famous falling out.
Michael Fassbender did that movie where Seth Rogen is Steve Wozniak, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that lesser known bad one with Ashton Kutcher.
Is Ashton Kutcher in one?
Yeah, Ashton. There was 2 Steve Jobs movies that came out after his death. One of them with Ashton Kutcher, which was bad and no one saw, and then one of them with Michael Fassbender, which was pretty good.
Am I alone in thinking that Ashton Kutcher is kind of like the acting equivalent of a wet fart? Like,
no, that's I think that's fair.
Yeah,
really.
bro just shows up and is like, I'm here. I bring nothing to this, and I'm gone.
Yeah, and he's pretty weird as well.
Yeah.
He's got some weird beliefs.
Some apologies thrown out there. He's an apologist, isn't he, of certain behaviours?
Yeah, they're all filmed in the same place in his mansion as well, with him and
Mila Kunis.
Mila Kunis, yeah, that's it.
We found a brick wall. We're the working people. Look at us in this brick wall.
Imagine there's no heaven.
Yes.
Don't get me
Topher
started.
Grace famously is the only one of those guys that's like, no, that guy sucks. He's a weird guy.
Yeah.
I told everyone he was a cunt. No one believed me, and everyone thought I was bad in Spider-Man 3. Well, fuck you all.
He was bad in Spider-Man.
No, I liked it. I watched it recently.
No, Spider-Man... I'm not here for this revisionist history on Spider-Man 3, all right? It's a bad movie. Okay?
It's the worst of them, but it's a good movie, I think.
I don't think it is. I think it's a bad movie.
So the doctor tells Clara, he heads out while Clara is kind of in the midst of losing signal with Danny. And the doctor says, like, remember, skeptical, quizzical, ask him shit that only Danny would know, not a
be
weird...
Be cold,
yeah.
he tells her. Yes.
Oh, don't be cold. Don't be telling people to be cold in this episode. It makes me upset now.
No, it has to be.
Your fat beard Wozniak write these raps for you too. Ooh, everybody knows Windows bit off Apple.
I tripled the profits on a PC.
Well, the people with the power to create use an Apple.
And people with jobs use PCs.
You know, I bet they made this beat on an Apple.
No, Fruity Loops, PC.
You'll never catch a virus on an Apple.
But you can still afford a doctor if you got a PC.
Let's talk about doctors.
Zaz and a few, because I got a PC, but it wasn't from you.
I built a legacy, son. No one can ever stuff it. Now, excuse me while I turn heaven. He doesn't turn heaven a profit, though, does he?
Oh, no. He's here with his bad iPad.
And the bad bezels.
Yeah.
I didn't know what bezels were before I met you, by the way. You've opened my eyes to tech stuff somehow.
You didn't know what bezels were?
I knew what bezels were, but I didn't know the name bezels. It's like how that Phineas and Ferb episode taught everyone what that name of a shoelace end is or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know what I'm talking about, do you?
No, I don't.
Do you know where you are in your notes yet?
Yes, I do. Yeah, so they're like, yeah, be cold, be skeptical or whatever. And then Clara's like, the doctor's like, I've got to go. I've got to fucking check out the tanks and see what's happening or whatever. There's something that I'm missing. Okay? And yeah, Clara's on the phone to Danny or whatever, and then the doctor says, who would harvest dead bodies? I feel like I'm missing something.
Yeah.
As the lift door close, and it's very clearly the Cyberman eyes, okay,
yes.
with the little like teardrop as well. Phenomenal reveal.
Yeah.
So fucking good. Incredible.
It's the theme, the giveaway, and I love that it's not it's so creative. It's not the Cybermen giving it away. It's Stephen Moffat having enough faith to basically go, you're all fucking nerds. Hit them with the Murray Gold. Hit them with the dun 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 button, and they go, oh fuck.
It's such a good reveal. I love it so much. And it really makes me wish like I didn't already know the Cybermen were in this story, you know? It makes me wish like they weren't included in the marketing and stuff, because it's having that reveal for the first time would be so good. Yeah, I feel like
top tier, fucking top shelf stuff, right?
100%.
I think this leveled with the my nostalgia for the original season 3 OG Master introduction, the "You Are Not Alone" sequence.
Oh yeah, that bad one.
Yeah, no, the one that I think is excellent, and it's edited to perfection, by the way. But I digress. Right, I know that Stephen Moffat had to fucking
not
alone.
Good
on you, Jack.
Why is his name Yana?
I know it's
doesn't
dumb.
make any sense. Right?
I know it doesn't, but I like it.
It's stupid.
I do like that Stephen Moffat saw it and went like, he almost fakes you out, right? When you can use a Cyberman for a reveal, right?
Yeah.
And go like, that's the coolest thing in the episode. Oh wait, hang on.
Yeah.
And then more cool.
I got more.
Yeah. Like he knew he had to one up it because the Yana reveal, whether you like it or not, and you don't, and I very much do, right? It's a phenomenal bit of telly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is. Yeah.
that was such a okay.
No, it is. It is. My mind was blown in 2007.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
when you were a young boy.
When I was a little stupid boy.
Yeah, and you didn't know better.
And I couldn't think critically. Yeah.
Thinking critically is the death of magic, Nathan. Sometimes you got to reconnect with that little boy.
It's true. It's true.
Like Danny in this episode. But he shot that little boy.
Jesus. You shouldn't have shot that little boy then.
Yeah, that's on him, to be honest.
Yeah. Anyway, Clara's like, Danny, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to ask you some questions. And Danny's like, it's me, you bitch. He doesn't say that. But he's like, it's me.
One last pot shot from you.
Yeah. Anyway, Missy's having a bit of fun. She's like getting the skeletons ready to do a dance or whatever. And Chang's like, oh Jesus, the tanks, they're activating. This isn't supposed to happen. And the doctor's like, and they're standing up, you fucking idiot. All right,
You moron.
You missed that, didn't you? And then this is where Missy reveals herself, but she's like, I'm not a robot, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Because you know that something's up, but you still, they stretch this out. You still don't know of who Missy is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Dr. Chang's like, that's not a droid. That's my boss.
Yeah, that's my
or
boss, man.
whatever.
Why are you calling her a robot, you
Yeah.
freak?
Yeah. And then she's like, oh, maybe I was fibbing just a little, just having some fun. And then she just like makes this guy just say something nice before she kills him.
Yeah.
Which is quite brutal.
Sadistic behaviour.
Very sadistic. Yeah.
Absolutely insane stuff.
Yeah. And Chang's a little bitch, so he's like, it's been a pleasure working with you, and I truly believe that you'll never forgive yourself if you're able to kill me. And then she's like, boom.
I don't give
dead.
a fuck, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck you.
He should have gone out on business and died shouting what he believed in, which is, I'm a pervert and I want to put that fucking water in swimming pools.
I want to see people naked in swimming pools.
I'm just
I'll stand by that.
I'm standing by the side of the Lido with my dick
Is
out.
there something more sinister to that? Because who is often at swimming pools?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Now that I've thought about that, I
No,
don't
you
wanna
called him a great
pull
bloke earlier.
No, I don't want to pull further on that thread. All right.
Yeah, icky business from Dr.
Very
Chang.
icky business. Yeah, don't like that at all. Anyway, I'm going to quickly move past that. She kills that cunt, and good for her, I say now.
Yeah, good on it.
Yeah, then the water in the tank starts to lower at this point.
Yeah.
And then as it does, we see the tops of the Cyberman's heads come through. And Doctor's like, Cyberman, he says.
Cyberman.
Cyberman.
Sounds like he's a pirate.
I am a Cyberman.
It do
here,
be a
lads.
Cyberman.
It be a Cyberman.
And then Hugh Bonneville arrives.
Sound like Nick Offerman in the Lego movie. Well, I love that scene in the Lego movie where they're trying to get like some AI thing to work, and they're all like they're all just giving it a very simple command, like just hit the button or whatever, just grab the thing, and Nick Offerman goes, "Be all grabbing of that thingy over there," and then it finally works after that.
Mate, the Lego movies are underrated. I know that people
They're
like them,
good,
but they're
man.
really underrated. They're actually great fucking movies.
They're fucking hilarious. First one in particular is
Yeah.
so good. So good.
Oh my god! Isn't there like a whole meta subplot of the second one where other Chris Pratt gets stuck under a washing machine or something?
Yeah, he's like 3 Chris Pratts or whatever. Yeah.
Mate, the damage that's done to me and Toy Story have done to me when it comes to like throwing out toys, I'm like, but what if they know?
That Jessie scene from Toy Story 2, aka the saddest moment in all of Hollywood history.
Mate, I piss tears when I see that scene every time. When somebody loved me, everything was beautiful.
Beautiful sequence.
Oh, man.
Fucking heartbreaking.
And then she slipped behind the bed. Come on, man.
Yeah. Ugh.
Clean under your bed, by the way, you dusty bitch.
I don't have an under my bed.
Do you not? What kind of bed are you rocking with?
A divan.
Oh, yeah, you got storage.
No.
That's a divan, isn't it? Or you got cupboards? What you got under there?
Nothing. Didn't splash out for the storage. That was extra.
Ah, okay.
An extra like 300 quid. I'm like, fuck that.
Yeah, I'm not paying for it. I'll just buy a cupboard.
It's already expensive. This cost me like fucking 900 quid. Beds are so expensive.
Beds are ludicrous, yeah.
Ludicrous. Why is this mattress like fucking 500 quid? What is going on?
Mate, mattresses are the world, like, they're the most unfortunate investment.
Yeah.
Because you get no pleasure out of it. Because, like, yeah, I know it's comfortable to sleep, but once you've slept on it, then you just get used to it and you're like, this is just bed.
Yeah, this is bed.
Yeah,
now.
there's a nice week when you buy a new mattress where you're like, phenomenal stuff.
Yeah.
But then it dies off
then
again.
It's like, then it's like your life has not really changed at all.
No,
you know?
but I am 900 quid in a fucking hole now.
Yeah, so that's sick for me. I love that.
Yeah,
you know?
great.
Yeah.
Well glad I've got a new bed. Unrelated, my wife and I had to buy a new bed because she was uncomfortable, and I'm not bitter about it at all.
What did you go for?
A divan, yeah, with the storage solutions, Nathan.
Ooh, splashing out.
Yeah, I got mate, nappies, bare nappies.
You know what? This is so. I don't know if I should reveal this. This is so bad. Okay, I bought a bed, like about a year and a half ago. Okay,
yeah.
I bought a bed about a year and a half ago. Okay, and it was a divan bed, and it like came with a headboard, and that you were like supposed to attach on. Okay,
yeah.
I have not attached on that headboard. That headboard is literally still sat in my bedroom, just flat against the wall, and it has been for a year and a half now.
It's 2 screws, man.
I know, but I'm like, I'll get around to it. I just never have.
Sometimes I don't like a headboard if I'm renting.
Living alone is a curse.
Yeah,
right?
yes.
Because I'm like, well, I have no one I need to do this for. It's just me, and I don't care.
Yeah,
so
mate,
that's the thing.
I cannot begin to tell you how accountable I am just because I live with my wife. Like, she's like, are you gonna like strip the beds today and change them over? And I'm like, definitely. And then like 5 minutes before she comes home from work, I'm like, motherfucker, I forgot to fucking do the beds.
I'm gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, literally. And you've heard my wife on the phone to me sometimes. She's like, I will get in trouble.
Yeah,
100%, straight up. I'm riding with you. That's fine. Keep that headboard wherever you want it, man. I'm not even a headboard guy. Sometimes they just like moving in the bed will just knock it on the wall, and I'm like, I don't need to be hearing that. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, and then of course. I'm not going to say it, but we all know.
Roger in.
Anyway, right, let's move on.
Let's. Yeah, fucking. So Danny and Clara are having a bit of a discussion. I'm sure you'll be delighted to know that Danny can't remember the restaurant of their first date.
Danny's a horrible boyfriend.
Yeah, here we go.
All right, he can't remember shit about Clara. All right.
Yeah.
She's like, the first restaurant you took me to, what was it called? And he's like, I don't know. Fuck off, man.
I'll be honest, it's a poor show from him, right?
It is.
But I feel like
It's
they've
not the best.
retroactively written him worse here. Like,
He did get a birthday, right? To be fair.
yeah, but again, he even wasn't 100% on that. He was like, I'm fairly
That's true.
sure.
That's true. Yeah. She's like, my birthday. When is it? November 23rd, which, by the way, is Doctor Who's anniversary.
Oh, fun.
And then he's like, that's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it? I got that one right.
You
didn't
should
I?
know, brother.
Yeah. Well, did you? Tell me, Danny.
Yeah.
You know?
My heart always falls out my ass a little bit when whenever I'm on the phone and they ask me to, like, if I'm like having to confirm, like, just recently I've been to a lot of like doctor's appointments and my wife has sat down.
Why?
And I've had, no, you know why.
Baby.
And my wife has sat down and I've had to like go up and sign her in at the desk and stuff. And I don't know why. I know her birthday, right?
Yeah.
But there's a part of me that when they go, and what's her birthday? I go, and then I go, oh yeah, now I'm thinking like a normal human being again. It's this.
I am horrible with birthdays. Like, I think I know your birthday, but I kind of don't.
You're like Danny. You're a bad man.
No, like if I think about it, I don't know it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like when I try to think about it, I'm like, yours is either the 2nd or 3rd of February.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it,
Yeah.
it's one of those, isn't it?
It's one of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you second guess it when you think about it, don't you?
It's the 3rd.
Yeah, you got it. You
Okay,
got it. It's subconsciously
When's
you're
mine?
a good.
When is mine?
You're the 19th of January. December. Sorry. Fuck.
The The look.
I meant. I mean, technically, we both made a faux pas there, so we're even footing.
I know your partners because it's not far after mine,
and it's the worst birthday in the world.
And it's the mine's pretty bad too, but yeah, it's quite bad. Yeah.
I would say she takes the cake on bad birthdays.
Well, I want the cake, all right.
And the bad thing is, you both never get one.
I know, that's true, because it's Christmas time, right?
Anyway, what's going on, Nathan? We got juice to get to in this episode.
Yeah, we got juice. Yeah, so Missy is like, oh, this is a fucking Matrix data slice, you know? It's Gallifreyan technology, a Gallifreyan hard drive, basically. That's what the Neversphere is, basically. She's like, imagine if you could upload dying minds to that, edit them, rearrange them, get rid of all those boring emotions, and be ready to download into, like, Cyberman bodies, basically.
Absolutely abhorrent business, but
abhorrent but phenomenal
and interesting. I do like that she's pointing it and she's like, they all think they're in heaven, and I'm like, you're an evil fucking woman, man.
Yeah, the Doctor's like, how did you get hold of Time Lord technology? And then she's like, you know who I am, I told you felt it. And then she does the heart thing again, and he's like, two hearts, and both of them yours, she says.
Killer writing, man. What the fuck?
The Doctor says, you're a Time Lord, and she's like, Time Lady, please, I'm old-fashioned. And the Doctor's like, which Time Lady? And then this is where, like, when I first watched it, I was like, oh my god, because never in my mind did I conceive that it could be who it is, because that had been a change that had not been done in the show. You know? That was at the time, and is still, like, it's a huge change, you know. It's not something that I conceived could possibly happen. No. So I was like, who, the Rani? Is it the Rani?
Yes.
What's happening here? That's probably what everyone was thinking, really. But like,
to echo that point as well, like, it's hard to even come at that, like, even if you're, like, younger than us, which I know a few of our listeners are, right? Like, it's hard. Most it's generous. It's hard to conceptualize this being like a phenomenal fucking, like, thing now, because we live in a world that is more progressive, and we've had a female Doctor and everything else. We've had a few, but like this was
kind of
sort of We've had one mainline female Doctor.
We've had one mainline female Doctor.
But like this was the time. This was really the first time that Doctor Who kind of dipped their toe into that, at least in New Who. So this reveal was extra fucking effective. This is an assumption, but I'd imagine this reveal was extra fucking effective back in the day, because people were 100%. Previously thinking that this wasn't possible.
Yeah, 100%. I think it had been mentioned, it had been said, and this is probably around the era that those discussions were starting to happen, you know, like, is it possible, can, you know, there ever be a female Doctor and everything like that. But in the one of Matt Smith's episodes, he mentioned, I think it's the Doctor's wife, written by no one, who he said, you know, he's talking about the Corsair, who, you know, in every regeneration they always had a tattoo, and he's like, all those blokes and one time one woman, he said, is something like that.
So
I think that had been the only real mention of it.
I think so, because I remember us talking about it on the episode. There was Moffat was slowly pushing the boat out. Slowly,
100%. And clearly testing the waters for what's to come as well.
And I maintain that, although it's like it's kind of a cynical way to look at the world a little bit, right? But I do maintain the opinion that Missy was the trial run for Jodie Whittaker's Doctor.
I 100% think so too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It was gauging the fucking response.
Yeah, 100%. Anyway, we'll get to what all that means in a second. But so Missy says that she's the Time Lady that he abandoned, the one you left for dead. Didn't you ever think I'd find my way back? Which is very interesting.
Was the Master left for dead?
I mean, last time we saw the Master, who, I don't know why you're bringing up the Master, because that's irrelevant.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but the last time we saw the Master was at the end of Time Part 2.
You got yourself lasered, you daft cunt.
Get out of the way.
Get out of the way.
You did this to me all my life.
You made me wrong. Oh man. Goated scene in a...
Well, he did. Well, the Doctor didn't do anything.
No, he literally just stood aside.
But that's what I'm saying, though. He didn't do anything to stop him. Didn't, like... So, you know... Yeah.
And
from the Master's warped point of view, you know?
I guess so, yeah. And the Master's there's a lot of ego to the Master, so he would have taken
And also, there's... I was going to say there's also a lot of vagueness around the Master's timeline and which incarnation comes where and everything like that, but it is said pretty explicitly that this one comes after at one point, which maybe we'll get to, maybe we won't, who knows.
Yeah,
but,
of course, yeah. I'm excited to get to that, because there's a lot of inherent built-in sexism to the Master's character.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah,
that
of
doesn't
course.
exist. Yeah. Anyway.
It's just a regular man with a goatee.
Yeah. Lawrence, shut the fuck up. Anyway.
I like to see 12 fucking freaking out, by the way, because he's a capable man. He's one of the most capable doctors. He never, like, in various adventures, he always seems almost capable to the point of being exhausted. He's like, we're just going through the motions here.
Yeah, 100%.
But this time he's, like, shitting his fucking pants, and you can tell.
He's panicking, and then he's like, oh, I need to go get Clara. I need to fucking find Clara and make sure she's okay. And Missy's like, oh, I've turned off the lift. Ha 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 ha. The doctor goes, I presume you have stairs. And Missy says, well, I'm not a Dalek.
Got stairs, man.
Which is good fun. And then he like goes to the stairwell, but then he ends up outside St. Paul's Cathedral
in Wales.
In Wales, yes. No, this is simple.
No,
this is in London. Yeah. And yeah, this is fun, I guess.
It's very fun. It's just a nice pullback, and we're sat there thinking you're in heaven or whatever the whole time.
But no.
Yeah, they have no idea, and they're just like, oh, didn't you even know where you were? And it's like, oh, mate.
Yeah, bit of fun, bit of sinister fun from Missy. Anyway, well, Clara and Danny, they're all fucking going to it again, and Danny's like, I love you, and she's like, shut up, you bitch.
I actually love this scene. I think this is a heartbreaking scene.
Yeah, I do too.
Between the two. Just Danny's... Clara makes it explicitly clear that if Danny can say anything to prove that it's truly him, she will essentially move the fucking Earth back to like... Basically, she nothing on Earth could stop her fucking getting to Danny's side. And Danny's inclination is that the easiest way to do that would be to fucking off herself, essentially. So he's hesitant to prove that it's truly him, and therefore she has to kind of tragically fucking end the call in a way that it kind of resigns them both to this fate of we're never going to speak to each other again, and it's heartbreaking, I think. She's
telling him to, like, don't say I love you, because anyone could say that, and essentially at this point it means nothing to me. Okay, I can't be sure that you are Danny Pink, so don't say that. Stop saying that. And then he just keeps on saying it. It's like, if you say it one more time, I'm gonna fucking hang up the phone for good, basically. And then he just does.
He does, but again, I think this is a test we don't really speak about. Is it Samuel Anderson? Is that the actor that plays Danny?
Samuel French.
Samuel French?
No. Wait.
I'm a Google quick.
I think it's Samuel French, isn't it?
Danny Pink, Samuel Anderson.
Oh.
Why did we think French? I thought French as well.
What? Where am I getting Samuel French from?
Have we said French? I think we've said French in previous episodes.
Who's Samuel French? Samuel French is some fucking guy from history. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
What the fuck? Where have I got this from?
Oh, weird. Anyway, look, we don't often talk about his performance because he's often there to kind of just be the everyman, the kind of Clara's boring at home boyfriend.
Yeah.
So he doesn't get a lot of chances to shine, but the way he delivers, like the way he goes, Clara, I love you, as a final definitive, like, I'm not doing it the way you want, but you know this is me.
Yeah.
It's a great line delivery, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Doing a lot with a little there.
And then he's having a little cry. He's like, oh, I'm sad, I'm doing a little cry. Because Clara's hung up. She's like, fuck you, bitch.
Yeah.
And then the dude from Skins, the headmaster from Skins, is like, these bloody emotions.
Yeah.
Oh, they're so terrible, aren't they? If only there was, something that could help with that. And then he hands him the iPad, and it's like, delete emotions, basically. And then he's like, I'll leave you to make a decision.
And he's like hovering over it, like, you can kind of tell he's considering it, and he's breaking down. It's a sad fucking moment for him, if we're honest. Yeah. This was the moment 100%. I went, is this one of the worst fates of any Doctor Who character? Because this is rough for Danny.
No, it's not. There's worse.
There's almost certainly worse, but this is rough.
It's pretty rough, but whatever. There's worse fates.
Anyway. So frankly, Danny.
Yeah, get over yourself.
Pull your bootstraps up and get on.
Yeah. So the Doctor's like, he's running out of St. Paul's Cathedral. He's telling everyone to run away. He's like, get away from here, all of you. Go, get away. He's saying, and then Missy's like, sorry, everyone. Another bloody ranting Scotsman. I didn't know there was a match on or something.
It's so good. I didn't know there was a match on.
Very fun, yeah. So no one's really taking him seriously.
Yeah.
And then Missy's like, shut up, you little bitch.
Mate, fucking lunatics running around London. It's a dime a dozen, right?
Yeah, you're not going to really take any notice of that, man. No.
There's only been one time I've ever taken an interest in someone, right? And it's when this fucking... There was a guy... I was on a tube, right?
Yeah.
And there was a guy that got on... I think I might have even told the story on the podcast before. There was a guy that got on the tube, and I'm not joking. He was sat, like... kind of he got onto a chair, kind of cuddled up to his knees, was rocking back and forth violently, talking to himself. And I just took my wife's hand and went, let's get off this one. I reckon.
Yeah.
Something, you know, when something about it, you just feel that's not right. Yeah. So this is
anyway, I will say as well, there's like Cyberman following them out of the cathedral and stuff, and this is a bit of fun because like this is calling back to some classic Who. This is classic Who iconography, basically.
Oh, okay.
As in like, Cyberman coming out of St. Paul's Cathedral. Like that's quite an iconic image, basically. Much like the Daleks on Westminster Bridge. You know, it's like just one of those iconic Doctor Who images.
I didn't know that. I knew about the Daleks on Westminster
Yeah.
Bridge. I didn't know about the Cybermen.
Yeah, quite an iconic Doctor Who thing.
Oh, awesome. That's cool then. That's a good bit of history thrown in.
So a bit of a fun callback. And a fun callback we'll see next week as well, actually. Yes, as from a fun little moment from a character. A favourite character. So yeah. Anyway, yes, so...
Well, it's the Missy reveal.
Missy reveal. Yeah.
She has a great line about how the strategic disadvantage, the clear strategic disadvantage that the humans have is that the fucking dead outnumber the living. And that's just like, I'm sorry, but you don't get to write a thought like that without being a bit of a sicko. Right? And I think Stephen Moffat is a bit of a sicko.
I don't think so. I think that's especially when you're dealing with a Cyberman who harvests the dead.
That's true. Yeah.
That's a good thing right there.
But it's just not a thought you'd want to have, is it? Like, that's a horrible thing to think about.
Yeah, it is really.
Yeah.
It is. But good stuff. Anyway, Doctor's like, who are you? And she's like, you know who I am. I'm Missy. And he says, who's Missy? And then this is the reveal. She says, try to keep up, short for mistress. Well, I couldn't keep calling myself the Master, now could I? My jaw was dropped, mate. It was on the fucking floor. I was flabbergasted. I remember watching this very specifically, and the adrenaline I had after this episode.
Yeah.
I was fucking on, I don't know, I was bouncing all over the living room after this. I was like, oh my God, that was so fucking good. That was insane. I was blown away.
I'm glad that I had some time to compose myself before recording, because I finished this, and again, peek behind the curtain, right? I finished watching this episode, and about 5 minutes after that, you texted me saying, we normally do a recording at 9, you texted me saying 10, and I was like, I got no reason to say no, but like, God damn it, I want to fucking talk about this episode right now.
Yeah.
So I was just sat upstairs kind of waiting, like, soon it'll be 10, soon we'll talk.
Yeah, it was good though. It's good stuff.
It's great, and Danny, the ending shot of Danny considering deleting himself, and then
he sees the little boy's reflection in his iPad.
Yeah.
To be continued,
mate. This is one of them weeks. We've spoken about this a few times, right? But it rarely pops up so fucking like viscerally for me, right? This is one of them weeks that I'm really annoyed at this stupid fucking podcast for making me wait a week to talk about Doctor Who again.
Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it?
Yeah, I just want to know. I'm tempted to just go and watch it now when we stop recording.
You can't.
Yeah, I know.
No.
I know.
You got to edit this.
I know. God damn it. Oh, yeah, great episode, fantastic stuff. I probably think it's time for a segment.
I also think it's time for a segment, and that segment is going to have an intro which plays right now.
Weirdo of the Week! though.
This is everyone's favourite section of the show where we get to take a chance to look back and reflect on some of the weird and wonderful and grubby little characters who come across our screens each and every fucking week. Lawrence, who is your weirdo that you're choosing to celebrate and love and appreciate this week?
Well, now hang on. Well, actually, the first one I was going to do before Doctor Who, I jumped the gun, and then Doctor Who went, "You're a fucking idiot," by the way. So then I had to think of a second one. My first one was going to be the Doctor and Clara for being really dramatic about the TARDIS keys, when we both know a finger snap also opens the TARDIS doors.
Yeah, that is stupid for you. I don't think a finger snap unlocks the TARDIS doors, though.
Oh, it's wishy-washy, isn't it? We don't know the exact science.
It opens them, but does it unlock them?
Does it just do the thing where they knock, they click their fingers and it does the door that kind of just goes and just doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And the time's like, I'm trying, you got to stick the key in.
I think it's vague enough that we don't know.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my other weirdo is not one I'm celebrating. In true Still Got Legs fashion, it is a weird sex criminal, and that is the pervert from Dr. Chang himself, the weird swimming pool pervert.
After what we discovered, I think that's 100% fair enough.
It's a weird thing to do and say, and just
weird.
In polite company to some government inspectors, you think, just be like, you guys perverts? I'm a pervert.
Don't you think they should be in pools so we can all be perverts?
We should straight up be perverts. We could start a group chat called the Pervert Boys.
What a weird thing to say, man.
Yeah.
Just a stupid, weird thing to say.
Very strange. It wasn't even like in a seedy way. He was genuine. Like, it wasn't like a laddish comment. He was kind of just like, I wish we did this.
Yeah, he was being very earnest about it. Yeah. So weird.
What about you?
Mine is the woman who picks up the phone after Danny died for just being so fucking weird and vague. Yeah. All right, how about you give Clara some fucking context, you idiot? All right, she's just like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know what happened, the car came and there's, like, what are you saying? Just say exactly what happened, you fucking moron. Fucking hell.
She might have been in a bit of shock, but yeah, it's not helpful.
No, it's not helpful at all.
If you're going to pick up that phone, you have to be under the assumption that you have to deliver some bad news to someone.
Yes.
So maybe
100%.
Don't pick it up if you're a quivering fucking mess.
Yeah, exactly.
No one asked you to do this, random woman.
Frankly, I don't think I'd be able to pick up that phone. No. If you saw someone got hit by a car, first of all, I'd probably be way too focused on that to notice the phone and then pick it up. Frankly, it's a little weird that you did pick up the phone, really. Are you trying to steal it? What's going on? You trying to steal a dead man's phone? You know?
Them thieves in London, man, they rest for no one.
Exactly. They're coming by on their moped.
Yeah, have you ever had one of them?
No, I've never had one. I've also not lived in London for the past, like, fucking 5-6 years or so. So, like, it's like, and the rise of that has been in the past, like, few years. So
I think it was probably about, or maybe 2019. It happened to my wife. Don't know if she's ever told you this.
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, she was just coming out of work and a guy on a fucking, I think it was just a bike, but he was like whizzing past, right? And she was quite close to the road, just waiting for a fucking, like, a zebra crossing or whatever. This guy just sped past, grabbed her fucking phone, right? Yeah. But just fumbled it, right? Oh, and just dropped it, almost fell off his bike, and then almost got hit by a car. So,
what an idiot.
Yeah, just fine. This whole time my wife's just looking at him like, fuck just happened? What a fucking lunatic.
Oh my god, that's so stupid.
Yeah, so anyway, he almost got hit by a car, and it should have happened to him and not Danny Pink. That's what I say.
Should have, yeah.
Yeah, what a sucky dude. Anyway, good stuff, Nathan. It's time for the audience to have their say.
What?
I know. If you're new, you can write into the emails or to the Discord. Let us know your thoughts on the episode. We look through some, we pick some out, we read them on the show, and that's what we're doing now. Nathan, hit me with an email.
I will say we really only got one email this week. Oh. Okay. However, I got an email last week that didn't really talk about last week's episode, so I can just read that.
Okay, sure. Yeah, we're cheating the system
because I didn't read it out last week. Yeah,
nice.
Okay. So this is from Kieran. If it's spelled Kieran, is that Kieran?
I think it's still Kieran. Yeah.
Ciaran.
It's either
is that Kieran?
Wait, spell it again.
Ciaran.
It's either Kieran or Kian.
Oh fucking hell, man! You've added a new one into the mix. Well, that guy. Anyway, Kieran Crombie says, greetings from the past. I'm writing this email to you while listening to the Pandorica Opens episode. I'm still in catch-up mode from discovering your podcast a couple of weeks back, so I won't know if you read this for a few more weeks. You're very welcome. I thought you might enjoy a story from my childhood that has stuck with me forever and cemented me as one of the most dangerous villains in the Doctor Who universe. I'm 38 years old, and as a child, my dad was quite involved in the Doctor Who fandom / convention circuit before New Who was a thing. One con in Glasgow had an appearance from the third Doctor, John Pertwee, and I remember little 9-year-old me being assigned as his personal assistant for the day. We chilled in the hotel lobby while he told me about his son, actor Sean Pertwee, and what school was like for himself back in the day. During a photo shoot involving a black taxi and a Dalek outside the hotel in full costume, I was holding open the door for who to me was the Doctor, and as he approached and handed me a 50-pence piece and said, "That's a lucky coin, hold on to that, my own personal have that on me moment." That's very funny.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah.
Well, being a 9-year-old boy, I obviously spent that 50p on fizzy cola bottles. That ended up being one of John Pertwee's final on-stage interviews, as he died quite soon after. Turning his own lucky coin against him, I sadly defeated the Time Lord. And although I'm not a superstitious man, I have genuinely never forgiven myself.
Oh, fuck.
I love the podcast and cried along with you guys. Crying at Vincent, bless your souls, keep it up. That's very sweet. I think you can forgive yourself, okay? I think there was other factors at play here. I don't think you personally killed John Pertwee, okay?
He might have fallen under his fold-up caravan, for all we know.
Stop it with that caravan.
You know he loves that caravan. That's a great fucking story, by the way.
That's amazing. Yeah, that is very cool.
That's actually really fucking good.
I love that so much. That's great.
Yeah, you can definitely forgive yourself. And thank you for letting us know. That was lovely to hear.
100%.
This one on the Discord comes in from I thought everyone had heard, ?
Have you not heard?
I haven't heard. Have you heard?
Have you not heard that the bird is the word?
I've heard that the bird is the word, and that tragedy your pants fall down and such.
Good stuff. That's good stuff.
We're all rhyming. Thank God that card got Danny. He was getting very tiresome.
Jesus.
It was driving me up the wall having to listen to his bad boyfriend behaviour every week. I'm really excited to see how this next episode resolves this whole thing. Personally, I believe Missy was driving the car and doing the world a favour.
Wow.
Fucking brutal stuff there.
Yeah, I wasn't even that brutal, man. Jesus.
I like the halfway through that thought they just did away with the puns and went, fuck him, glad he's dead.
That's good stuff.
That is good stuff. What's our second email, if you would?
Our second and last email is from Leah Marie, who says, "Hi Nathan and Lawrence, this episode is amazing. The twist at the end is so cool and clever. Danny's death is a bit stupid. Even if you're on your phone, you still know to look before crossing the road. Look, Danny is stupid, all right? But I think Clara's grief is portrayed very well. The Doctor has some great lines, especially when Clara betrays the Doctor and he tells her to go to hell, or when he's getting annoyed with Dr. Chang, saying, 'Shut up, I'll hit you with my shoe.' All very fun. And Clara has some good lines too, so speak to me again, I'll detach something. I love 3 loves, the scene when the Doctor meets Missy. The Doctor and Clara reaction to Missy kissing him makes me laugh every time. And when Missy puts the Doctor's hand on her chest and he doesn't know what to do, they walk away, the head moves, it gives me the creeps so bad. I think it's very clever that even though throughout the episode we see the Cyberman eyes on the door window, we don't actually notice it until they point it out to us and come together. When Clara is talking to Danny through the deaf intercom, I think it's heartbreaking. Danny's trying to convince Clara it's him, but the Doctor has got inside Clara's head to convince her that they're using her memories. I love seeing Cyberman walk out of St. Paul's Cathedral down the path exactly the same as in Classic Who, which is amazing to me. See, Lawrence, you're in it.
Oh, clearly, yeah. Oh, God.
I think Missy's reveal was amazing, and the fact that throughout the episode she was hinting towards it, yet it took for her to almost literally spell it out for us to realise that reveal was one of the best. Unpopular opinion, apparently, I think Missy's master is less evil than the other masters. I don't know why, but I just find her more funny than evil. I have to say on that, but we will leave it until the next. I have more to say on that, but we'll leave it until the next episode. And however much I disliked Danny this series, I never wanted him to delete everything at the end. After the latter part of the last episode, I start to like him, and next episode, I love him. Anyway, overall, it's a great episode from the Penguin of the Discord. Interesting thought about Missy, and I think that's something worth discussing over time, basically.
I see. I was going to say interesting thought on the Clara, the Doctor getting inside Clara's head and Danny actually trying. My read of that was that Danny was actively trying to keep Clara away, whereas
I think it's a bit of both.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I hadn't considered the Doctor read. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Because he does have that inherent skepticism and cynicism in him, I guess. So.
Well, he downright tells her, be cold, be calculated.
Yeah, but I didn't. I never took that as the Doctor trying to well, maybe not actively trying, but trying to get into Clara's head and be doubt yourself. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, well, thank you for writing in. That's lovely.
You're welcome.
It wasn't you.
Well, you said thank you. All right.
Where am I?
Bro doesn't even have one ready to go.
I did. Well, I wanted to give my full attention to the one being read out, if you don't mind. Joe on the Discord said, "If I suddenly changed gender, I too would dramatically reveal it to my friends through a world conquering plan for all the attention and the drama."
Honestly, that should be the new standard for a way for trans people to come out. I reckon.
100%.
You should absolutely try to conquer the world.
3 people have reacted with the trans flag, so yeah, go for it. That's great stuff.
Yeah, that's good.
Pearl Goblin also says, "I think my favourite part of this episode is how realistically they portray grief, and specifically the kind of grief Clara would be feeling in this episode. She has all these amazing adventures with the Doctor, and if she had died, it would have been at least kind of interesting. Danny dying in a car collision is a boring natural event that she's not used to anymore.
Yeah.
Most people would, of course, be sad about their partner dying suddenly, but Clara also has to deal with an unexpected tragedy on Earth versus the spectacular tragedies she's been exposed to in time and space. Chef's kiss." Yeah, completely agree. It's a great juxtaposition for Clara to have to grapple with, I think.
Yeah. Can't wait for 20 minutes with Nathan explaining how Danny being hit by a car was his fault and makes him a bad boyfriend. Fuck you.
Who said it, Nathan?
Right? I didn't say any of that shit, so fuck you. I was nice.
Sage. That was from Sage, by the way.
That was from Sage. Fuck you. All right? Also, Ari, all right, really jonesing to find out who Missy is. I got inceptioned.
I know.
All right? I got fucking inceptioned. Do you see this shit?
I did. The worst thing is, throughout the week, I thought to myself, Pierce is saying that word a lot.
I did too. I fucking saw it being used so much in the Discord that week. And then when I said it in the episode, I even thought, oh yeah, it's probably because I've seen it from the Discord. And then I'm like, oh my God, you cunts, you fucking inceptioned me. They Jesus Christ.
It's scary when people do kind of social experiments and we're the brunt of it. I don't like that.
Yeah. 100%.
Anyway,
don't do that to me. All right? Stop experimenting on me. All right?
There's one surefire way to get under Nathan's skin. He hates to be observed in any way.
I do. Yeah. Don't look at me. Don't perceive me. Just leave me alone.
Which is incredible for a man with a public-facing podcast.
It is. I will say my Instagram is on private, and now I think through this podcast, people have started to request me on Instagram, and I'm like, and look. No offense to anyone, okay? Yeah. But it sets me on edge. I'm like, who are you? How do I know you? What do you want? All right.
I had to grab when I first started working for Mr. Sunday Movies, James. A few.
That being said, I've said that I felt bad, so I'm going to accept everyone. Okay.
I've had to deal with sometimes I'll get someone message me and it's always kind, right? But they'll be like, hey man, love your editing work, and I'm like, go away. Don't compliment me, I don't know you.
I feel like it's because we don't know how to deal with people being like, hey, I like this stuff you do, that's nice and stuff. We're not famous.
No, I cannot reiterate enough, we are just two people with microphones that like to talk.
That's all we are, and I feel really weird and uncomfortable when people say very nice things to me because I feel like I don't deserve them.
Yeah.
It's imposter syndrome to the max.
It's like we'll be in the Discord and we'll just be having normal conversation, and then someone will be like, "Whoa, Lawrence is in the Discord," and I'm like, why have you done this? Don't draw attention to this. I'm leaving. I no longer feel I'm in a normal conversation.
How do I find people who've requested?
I don't know. I haven't used Instagram in fucking yonks.
I know Instagram works. What even is all these buttons?
It's Meta, Nathan. That's what's going on.
Is it Meta?
Meta owned Instagram, or some shit, or Facebook. I don't know what the fucking company's called. I don't think Mark Zuckerberg knows what his company's called at this point.
I don't. Oh, here's my follow requests.
Dox them, read them out.
Okay.
Don't actually do that. It might be private social medias. Don't do that.
Oh, they might be. Yeah. Well, some of them are actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the etiquette here? Do I have to follow them back?
Nah, you don't have to. You can do.
I feel rude if I don't.
Well, this is what you got yourself into this trap. You acknowledge this.
All right, I guess.
Follow them back, but create a blanket rule going forward that you're not going to be doing it now. So if you're late, you're late.
No, that's mean.
Yeah, I know, but you got to be. You got to set a boundary, Nathan.
No, I'll just follow everyone back. It's fine.
You hear that? Nathan's a proud member of Follow for Follow.
No, I'm not. I followed them all, or some of them I had to request to follow. So shout out to Tom, to Sarah, to KT, who may be called KT, and to Anthony.
Okay, well, hopefully they're listening to the show and not just people you've forgotten.
Yeah, hopefully there may just be like bots or something. You know, I just shouted out a Russian bot, so could be.
You check your message requests and someone called Tom is just like, "We make sex." we make sex on video.
No.
Anyway, thank you so much for listening. If you've enjoyed the show, you can give us a little 5-star review, and you can follow us on Blue Sky, on Instagram, and on TikTok at StillGotLegsPod.
Yeah, maybe.
You can join the Discord, you can share your thoughts on the episode, or email them over to stillgotlegspodcast@gmail.com, like you just heard. And it's big thank you times. Big thank you to Nina for managing the short form content, as well as marshalling the Discord alongside Maylina and, of course, the head honcho Pierce. Nathan, I don't know if you're aware of this, we spoke about it up top, but we do have a little Patreon.
Do I not get a thank you?
Oh, you always... Right, I did thank you last week. I thought that would be the end of it, if I'm honest.
No, you have to keep going.
All right, well, thank you.
Pierce, Melina, and Nina get a thank you every week.
They do more than you do every week.
I host the show.
But I don't thank myself, do I? And you don't thank me.
Well, I'll thank you. Here's the deal. You thank me, and then I'll thank you.
No, you go first.
All right, thank you for helping me host the show this week.
You did a really good job. All right, cunt here. Thanks, Nathan.
I think you did a really good job, and I had a good fun time.
I had a good fun time too. Thank you for hosting the show with me, Nathan.
You're welcome. See, isn't that nice?
Wasn't that pleasant?
Isn't that nice for
You're
everyone?
a barrel of surprises today with your love tracks and your exactly. Genuine thank yous.
No one better say shit to me again about being mean.
Yeah,
right?
Guys, it's all.
I'm immune now. I can be as mean as I want for the rest of time now.
It's a free pass now.
Yes.
If you are interested in hearing more from us, you can check out the new Patreon that we've got.
3 bonus episodes a month, baby.
Hell yeah.
That's practically 1 a week, apart from all the weeks you don't get one.
Yeah, just live with it. It's fine.
Yeah.
The link to sign up is in the show notes. It comes with all sorts of little extras, episode notes, bonus podcasts for Doctor Who topics, and commentaries as voted on by you. And of course, we just said it, we've got Still Got Rex, a new show we would recommend anything we've been watching, reading, listening, or doing, or whatever. Get involved, get signed up. Nathan, we've picked up some scallywag companions this week, but where from?
So, the first person this week is Leah Hatton, aka the Damn Beaver, who is from nowhere.
Oh.
Nowhere in all of time and space. So presumably, once again, the void.
Yes.
So what happened was we was floating in our TARDIS, which is better than the... I don't know what's going on.
What's our TARDIS? Which one's ours?
I don't know. It's a good one, not the shit one.
Okay,
right?
sure.
But anyway, our TARDIS was... Isn't this what I said last week? Oh, fuck. No. All right. Look, our TARDIS was floating through the void.
Yeah.
Okay. And we heard the gentle, beautiful sounds of some singing, some beautiful, soulful singing. Mm-hmm. And we were like, oh, what the fuck is that? That sounds beautiful. That sounds soulful. So we all stuck our heads out of the TARDIS into the void. And there we came across Leah singing a jaunty little song. And we were like, fuck, I like your sound, kid.
Yeah.
All right, you're in.
You got the goods to make it in Hollywood.
Exactly. Yes. So then we picked them up, we shoved them in the TARDIS, and now we just
Shoved them.
We shoved them in, and now we just make them sing for us
Okay.
as we fly about. Yeah.
So it's unpaid labor situation.
Unpaid labor, as all of this is. By the
Yeah,
way,
of course.
as well. Yeah. That goes for everyone. So. Yeah, good stuff.
Fan-bloody-tastic. The next one is Typical Pickle, who joined us in Glasgow, if you can even believe that.
They joined us in Glasgow, or they're from Glasgow?
No, they're from Glasgow, and we also joined them. They joined us in Glasgow, right?
Okay.
And I'll tell you how this happened, Nathan. Right.
Presumably alcohol was involved.
Yeah,
Do I know anything about Glasgow?
Yeah, I mean, that was true, yes.
Yeah.
But in this instance...
My gran was from Glasgow,
Yeah.
and now she's dead.
Big drinker, or...?
Probably.
Knocking them back.
Big drinker of Iron Brew.
Oh, there we are.
Fucking loved an Iron Brew.
Anyway, Typical Pickle, we found them in Glasgow, and I'll tell you exactly how, right? Me and you were off sick this day, right? So me and my friend Yanto.
Why was I not in Glasgow?
What do you mean what?
Why was I not in Glasgow?
No, you were in Glasgow, but you were sick. You were in the TARDIS getting nursed to health.
But I want to be in Glasgow.
Well, okay, you were there, but you were off camera.
You're on camera now.
Yeah, we are, yeah.
All right.
Me and my mate Yanto, right?
Why is Yanto here?
Because well, I tell you what, if you just shut the fuck up for 30 fucking
You're
seconds.
throwing all these new elements at me.
Me and my mate Yanto were there, right? And we found Typical Pickle, unfortunately, halfway through a cyber conversion.
Oh, no.
So they're there in their pants. Okay, they're there in their metal Cyberman pants.
Okay.
And we've had to save them. And actually, we've brought them into the TARDIS to provide them some comfort and shelter.
So is it literally just bottom half cyber conversion?
It's tough to say because I'm not looking because I'm respectful.
Okay. Do you want to take a look? Do you want to take a look just so we can find out?
No, I don't. I'll ask Yanto too, but he's
all right. Okay.
It's perverted when he does it.
Okay.
But I've put them in Ten's big brown trench coat to cover them up.
Okay.
So yeah, mid cyber conversion, metal pants. Scenario for Typical Pickle.
And is that why Yanto was there?
Yeah, because he's done it before. I called him up. He knows about this half cyber conversion situation with metal pants and whatnot.
But Yanto was already there.
No, you misheard.
I don't think I did.
No, you did. You definitely did. Yeah.
All right.
Who else do we get?
All right. Then we get Joe. A whole bunch of symbols.
Oh,
I don't know what those are. There's just a whole windings. Whole bunch of. I believe some of it's a mixture of kanji. Some of it's just triangle emojis and stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, Joe Candy, possibly, from Carphilly?
Nah, seems right. Why not?
Carphilly? I don't know. Carefully.
That's how we got them in the TARDIS.
Yes, because Joe is actually a rhinoceros. And we had to, and we found no. Joe is trapped as a rhinoceros. Joe got tricked and transformed into a rhinoceros.
I see.
By an evil witch. Okay.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so and now we've carefully lured Joe the rhinoceros into the TARDIS, and we need to set about finding a way to transform them back. But as of yet, we haven't. So they're still just a rhinoceros. In the TARDIS.
We got room for that? Well, TARDIS is expansive.
It's infinite in size, isn't it? Yeah.
We found the slightly bigger corridor for rhinoceros.
No, our console room is fucking huge. Okay.
Okay, all right, nice.
It's got like a whole bit where everyone can hang and chill out and shit. So.
And there's Rhino Corner.
There's a Rhino Corner, there's drinks, there's a bar, there's everything you want in there. We're all having a good time. You know?
Okay. Yeah. Sick.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Sage Prime is in the TARDIS. We picked them up from nowhere, unfortunately.
Nowhere?
Yeah. So, well, it actually was somewhere, but the TARDIS has wiped the record because they're actually that mysterious.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. So, we don't exactly know where we picked them up from, but I do know from stories that they've told me, is that they were one of the monks that were doing backflips in the Tooth and Claw episode.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what they're up to in the TARDIS. I brought them on because I wanted to kind of know how to do a backflip with a big staff.
Okay, so they're just doing backflips?
Yeah. Well, they're teaching me. It's a learning curve for me because I'm not a gymnastic man at all.
All right, there you go.
On account of my size and
Yeah,
such.
yeah.
It's harder for me to do all these flips and twists and stuff. But it comes easy to Sage Prime, so them their stick and their were they all wearing like orange weird clothes in the monk?
Yeah, like monk robes and shit, you know.
Yeah,
The little like orange Shaolin monk robe or something.
Yeah, and they love werewolves and whatnot. Yeah,
Yeah, maybe they worship one or some shit.
who knows? Who
I
knows
don't know what's going on. Yeah.
That, to be honest, Sage has put that behind them.
right.
It's all about backflips now.
just the backflip.
Just the
None of the weird culty shit, just purely backflips.
Yeah, that's the one part they couldn't let go of.
Alright, okay.
It's all
Well,
about
there
the
we go.
flips.
All about the flips. There we go. That's good stuff.
Whoa, Nathan, who is this?
What?
Some extra people approaching the TARDIS.
Whoa! Who are they?
There's Nina, there's Maylena, there's Pierce, there's Catherine.
It's Team Still Got Legs, okay? They are on the Patreon, but all of them were gifted a membership, okay? So as such, they don't really, like, show up here. So we haven't included them, but we'll just get them. We'll get them all at once, basically. So what happens is we stumbled across Team Still Got Legs. They were all in the pub together.
Yeah.
Let's say all coming up with new ways to fuck with me, basically.
No, I would say what's happened for the... Yeah, I'm rewriting your,
fair
your
enough.
improv.
All right. Fair enough.
Mainly because I want to be kind to Team Still Got Legs, right? Because I think what's happened is
Yes,
we've
and
crashed.
more like no, shut up, bitch.
More like, no thanks. I think what's happened is we've called them on the TARDIS because we've broken down.
Okay.
And even though they were at the pub, like you said, and
Yes.
all very drunk,
Yes.
they've arrived and they've fixed our shit and done everything for us.
Okay, sick. And now they're just aboard.
Now they're just aboard because they have to stick around to make sure we don't fucking crash every 5 seconds.
Okay, I like that, yeah. I like that, that's good stuff. Anyway, welcome aboard, Sage, Joe, Typical Pickle, Leah, Catherine, Pierce, Nina, and Melina. Fucking hell, crowded this week, boys.
Yeah, fucking.
Can't fucking
And that's not
move
to
in
mention
here.
everyone we've already got as well.
I know, and everyone else is still here as well. We are fucking... Oof, this place is getting full, man.
Yeah. Has
right.
someone farted? It stinks in here as well.
It was me.
Oh, shit. And me.
Oh!
And us. Says everyone. We're just hotboxing and all huffing each other's farts in here.
This is... I'll stop this now.
Do you reckon the TARDIS has good ventilation for farts?
Yeah, probably. It's got
They
those
gotta
big
go somewhere.
extractor fans, hasn't it?
What do actual astronauts do when they have to rip arse?
Lawrence, let's move on. Let's finish the episode.
Let's end the show.
Yeah, let's fucking end the show. Thank you.
Thank you for listening,
This
everyone.
is not a Patreon episode. You're still in Patreon vibes.
I know. Thank you for listening, everyone. We'll see you next Monday at 10 a.m. Stay beautiful. Stay gorgeous. What should they stay?
They should stay sexual.